Super Sox set to fire off here at the 20th Annual Lucas Oil Autumn Colors Classic, brought to you by Pure Country 105. First feature of the afternoon here at the Autumn Colors Classic, getting set to fire on the front row. It will be the number 31 of Rick Wald, the multi-time winner here at the Autumn Colors Classic, and Mark Gordon, a former feature winner here of the Autumn Colors Classic and multi-time feature winner this year in the Super Sock Division. Green flag in the air off of turn number 4. Down the front straight, away we go. Gordon up on the high side of the racetrack, Walt down low. Chenoweth's going to look to make it 3 wide down the back straightaway. Gordon going to come away with the advantage. Walt will slam the door shut down on turn number 3. Chenoweth will slide into the 3rd spot. Gord Shepard, the number 30 machine, runs in the 4th spot. Paul Bounty in the 0 under pressure for the 49 Frank Davey. We got a battle side by side deeper in the pack. Corey McAllister in that straight energy systems number 71 machine will clear the 23 of Paul Maltese and going to bring the 46 of Tyler Bullion with him, the Peterborough Speedway regular, and the Gorski Roofing number 46 machine. Jeremy Dobb now to the inside Maltese, the Presto Appliance Repair 23 machine, your 2006 Autumn Colors Classic champion, hung up on the high side of the racetrack. Trouble for Paul Pepper. He slows down the back straight. His caution is out. We have the 5 of Steve Lazeri facing the wrong way. The Benson Auto Parts North Bay Juniors Tires SL Performance number 5 machine going to head down pit road to the attention of the crew and see if they can make some adjustments on that 5 machine after the spin over in turns 3 and 4. We'll bring them back to the stripe. Gordon on the inside now. The control car on the restart. Walt up on the high side. Sean Chenoweth down low in row number 2. The one in Recreational Racing 89 machine. Going to slide into the 2nd spot and keep Walt trapped on the high side of the racetrack. Here comes the 49 of Flying Frank Davey down on the bottom. Contact. Paul Bounty gets from the 30 of Gord Shepard. Shepard able to collect it. More contact deep in the pack. McAllister gets sideways. That's going to allow Shepard to get down to the bottom side of the racetrack. The 46 of Bullion now trapped up on the high side. Deeper in the pack, Jeremy Dobb has trouble. That's going to open the door for Remington, the 47 machine. The Peterborough Speedway regular going to take the spot. Flying Frank Davey now for the 3rd spot. Looking all over the rear bumper cover of Sean Chenoweth. That time down in turn number 1. Trying to make some moves on the Transmaster Truck Parts 89C machine. Out front though, it is still Mark Gordon, just Hockey BioSteel, number 52 ride. The multi-time feature winner this year at Peterborough Speedway. Holding tough at the front of the field, the 2003 Autumn Colors Classic champion. Trying to hold off Sean Chenoweth here in the early going. 5 laps complete. 45 laps remaining to this 50-lap feature event. 44 now on the board. Davey runs in the 30 spot, trying to close the gap. Unable to do so far to the front too. You can see a Roof Dossier 49 machine. Ball Bounty under roofing. The Bounty roofing Mayhew Auto. Orono Country Cafe 08 machine up on the high side of the racetrack. Gord Shepard going to slip by. Filling in for Todd Davenport this weekend. The Elmer Sliding Supply InkYourRide.com number 30 machine. As we got cars spinning and slamming into each other down into turns 1 and 2. Carson Nagy, Paul Maltese, Lane Zardo, Jeff Remington, and Jeremy Dobb all come to a stop. Looks like some damage on the left side of Nagy's number 93 machine. Maltese able to back away, Dobb able to fire off. Left front fender damage on the 47 of Remington. He's going to take that Camaro to the infield and then down pit road to the attention of the crew. They're going to have some work to do to get that fender cleared away from the left front tire. They're going to pull away on the right front as well, make sure they got no tire rubs. Last thing you want to send them back out and cut a tire down. We get set to fire off once again. Green flag back in the air. Great Canadian RV green flag. Chenoweth with the jump on the high side of the racetrack, trying to clear Gordon down in turns 1 and 2. Might have been a little bit of contact there as they race down to turn number 1. Down the back straight away they go. Gordon down on the bottom with the advantage. Davey going to try to keep Chenoweth trapped up on the high side of the racetrack. The Handley Construction bullseye axe going 49 machine. Goes it deep in turn number 1, slides up the hill. Might have been a little bit of contact there. As Frank Davey will now go to the 2nd spot and shuffle Sean Chenoweth back to the 3rd spot. The one in Recreational Racing Quick Fire Starters number 89 C machine. Back in the 3rd position. Paul Bounty now runs in 4th where he started the fast qualifier. Rolled a 4 on the invert. Has gotten back to the 4th spot. Corey McAllister runs in 5th. The straight Kennedy position. Sputterball coming clean. Number 71 machine. Under pressure from Gord Shepard as we have the 29 of Paul Pepper around. The HumberviewParts.ca. Pat Servin Trucking 29 machine facing the wrong way in turn number 3. And that will draw the caution once again. Down off St. Louis pace truck hits pit road. Green flag in the air once again. It'll be Frank Davey now to the outside of the 52 on Mark Gordon. The Crow's Gas Bar 52 machine down on the bottom side of the racetrack. That's going to open the door for Sean Chenoweth. The Transactive Truck Parts WMI Engineering 89 C machine down the bottom side of the racetrack. Davey trapped up on the high side. Here comes Corey McAllister now looking to take the 3rd spot away. We got cars side by side all through the field. Nagy in that 93 with the Greenson Chevrolet ride, able to continue on after suffering some damage and going behind the pit wall. Has rejoined the field. He'll put Howie Crow in the 28 machine back one position there. Side by side, Paul Maltese up on the high side of the racetrack. Tyler Bullion on the 46. The Tyson Lawn Care machine gets the position. That's going to open the door for the 56 of Brandon McFerrin with Skirts Equipment Energy Byproducts 56S machine. Out front, though, it is all Mark Gordon. 2 car length advantage over the 89C of Sean Chenoweth. Chenoweth trying to reel him in. As we've got 13 laps complete. Contact. Around goes Corbett McAllister off the nose of Frank Davey. Everybody piles in, spins to avoid. Paul Pepper's got some damage. He's made contact with Carson Nagy right to the left front wheel of that 93 machine. Pepper already missing a lot of the front body work from earlier contact. McFerrin able to fire the 56 and drive away from the scene. Howie Crow got on the binders, able to avoid in that 28 machine. Back to the green flag again off of turn number 4. Racing with the Super Stock division. Mark Gordon down on the bottom. Chenoweth up on the high side of the racetrack. Paul Boundy up to third. Working the inside of Gordon Shepard as we've got contact. Howie Crow and Steve Lazzari get together, and Lazzari will go for the spin, trying to collect that number 5 machine. And now to put us back under caution. Crow going to come down pit road. Looks like a right front flat on the Crow's gas bar. Number 28 machine. Looks like starter Dave Sickma out on the track. Going to have a warning to talk. Will Lazzari in the number 5 machine. There's a 3 strikes, you're out. If you are involved in 3 cautions at the Autumn Colors Classic, your scorecard is pulled and you are black flagged for the event. The green flag back near once again. Chenoweth still trying to get that launch on the high side of the racetrack and clear Gordon down in turn number 1. Unable to do so. Gordon comes up the racetrack about half a lane and gets the run down the back straightaway. Chenoweth going to slide into second down in turn number 3. Side by side for the 3rd spot. Paul Boundy on the bottom. Gord Shepard up on the high side. The number 30 machine. Caused a little bit of nose damage from a previous caution. Side by side. Boundy with the advantage. The preferred line down on the bottom. The Mark Rainford Auto Center. 08 machine looking to go with a 3rd. And trap Gord Shepard back to the 4th spot. Rick Walters climbed back up through the field in the 31 machine. Now runs in the 5th spot. Unable to take advantage of Shepard trapped up on the high side. He's now got the 56 of Brandon McFerrin all over his rear bumper cover. The Stewart's Farm Equipment and RD Byproducts. Number 56F machine. Looking to follow the 31 crew down on the bottom and keep Tyler Bullion trapped up on the high side. Bullion going to make the smart move and slide in line just ahead of Paul Pepper. Here comes McFerrin now with a run to the inside of Walt down the back straightaway. This battle just outside the top 5. Side by side off of 4 they come. McFerrin with the advantage. He's got Bullion pushing him down the front straightaway. The Peterborough Speedway regular in the 46 machine, the Gorski roofing ride, looking for room to work and trying to march his way back through the field after going to the rear for being involved in an earlier caution. Time goes with Bullion that time off of 4. 71 and McAllister looking for room to work the street energy systems. Caldecott Millwright 71 ride to the bottom side of the racetrack. Walt trapped up in no man's land. He's got the 93 of Nagy now. And the Queens and Chevrolet Pure Energy Performance 93 machine down to his inside on the bottom of the racetrack. That's going to open the door for Flying Frank Davey trying to come through. Gord Shepard has gotten clear. Bounty and is up to the 3rd spot trying to reel in your front 2 as they have checked out almost a half straightaway ahead of Gord Shepard. Gordon out in front, the Disc Hockey BioSteel 52 machine trying to hold off the 89 of Chenoweth. Chenoweth unable to get any closer than about a half a car length back of the rear bumper of the 52 machine so far in this race. As we close in on the halfway mark, 29 laps now complete. 49 laps to go in this one. Shepard runs in the 3rd spot. McFerrin has worked his way up to 4th in that 56 machine. Tyler Bullion has fallen through to 5th. Pepper is in 6th with that beat up number 29 machine. Contact again. Carson Nagy to the inside of the 08 Bounty, and that's going to cut the right front of the 93 machine, and that will draw the caution once again as Nagy comes to a stop up in turn number 2. Able to get that car moving once again. Once the caution came out is the 93 machine. He'll head to pit road at the attention of the crew for a new right front tire on the Queens and Chevrolet Pure Energy Performance machine. He gets set to fire once again. Mark Gordon again, the control car on the inside. Chenoweth been trying to get the launch up on the high side. Gordon picks up the pace a little early, trying to counter it. Chenoweth again with the advantage as the nose sticks out just ahead as they get down in turn number 1. Gordon down on the bottom side of the racetrack. Chenoweth up high. The transaxle truck parts 89 machine. He's going to stick it out this time. Stays up to the high side through 3. Going to slide in line off of 4. Tries the crossover move. Gordon sees it coming. Gets to the bottom and slams the door shut. Gord Shepard now for the 3rd spot. Trying to close in on the battle for the lead with the front 2. 1 car length back off the rear bumper. The 89C machine. The one recreational racing quick fire starters. 89 machine. Field getting strung out. Trouble for Jeff Remington, that 47 car. Big moment for him. Got sideways. Everyone able to avoid the sideways 47 car as he came off of turn number 4. Able to keep that Camaro going in the right direction. No caution needed there. Maybe halfway this time. 25 laps in. 25 laps to go at the front of the field. For Mark Gordon, he has led off the drop of the green flag. We got a side-by-side battle. Paul Pepper, Paul Maltese. The 23 down on the bottom. Maltese, the pressure appliance repair. Ontario Steel Sales 23 machine. Pepper going to slide back in line. The Humberview Parts Dodge CA 29 machine. Going to get to the bottom and try to go to work. Marley Owen runs just ahead of them in the Peterborough City Dairy number 21 machine. Owen, a feature winner at Peterborough Speedway this year in the weekly Super Stock division. Out front there, Mark Gordon, and caution is out once again. Field slows down the back straightaway as we got the 57 and Jeremy Daub around. Daub in that DCW Chase Pool Services 57 ride, able to get refired. And he will tag on tail under the longest line. Doesn't look to be any damage to bar that would require him to hit pit road on that 57 machine. Kenneth on the loud pedal early once again, trying to get the jump. Almost able to get a half car length out in front of the 52 of Gordon. Gordon comes up the hill just a little. The Peterborough Speedway veteran knows what to do once he gets down in turn number 1 to take the lane away from Chenoweth, to use up as much racetrack as possible. Chenoweth trying to hang tough off of turn number 4 and down the front straightaway. Gordon starting to inch ahead. Here comes Gord Shepard in the 30 machine, unable to take advantage of Chenoweth, trapped up on the high side of the racetrack. Brandon McFerrin on the move now. The Stewart's Equipment NRD byproducts. R Simple Spray Foam Insulation 56S machine works to the high side of the racetrack. Tyler Bullion on the move. The Tyson Lawn Care 46 machine to the inside of McFerrin. McFerrin in no man's land up on the high side of the racetrack. He's got Frank Davey now looking to the inside as we got caution as Paul Pepper goes for a ride through the infield. The Humberview Parts.ca Imadraft.ca 29 machine able to get going, but the caution is out for the 29 car. Nice and slow here on the restart. Kenneth picks up the pace a little early on the high side of the racetrack, trying to beat Gordon back to the stripe. Knows he has to try to make the move on the high side. Had been having a hard time trying to get to the rear bumper of the 52 once they get single file. It'll be 15 laps to go with the line this time by Gord Shepard in the 3rd spot. Trying to close in and keep Chenoweth trapped up on the high side of the racetrack. Steve was able to do it this time. Chenoweth still trying to make the outside work. He gets sideways off of 2. That's going to cost him the position. Gord Shepard now to the inside. The Elmer Sliding Supply. Number 30 machine to the bottom. Chenoweth to 3rd. Brandon McFerrin to 4th. Frank Davey 5th. Tyler Bullion, Corey McAllister battle it out for the 6th spot. Just outside the top 5. Paul Maltese and Paul Boundy, they're looking to take advantage and move up some spots. Carson Nagy on the move in the 93 machine. Looks again to the inside of Boundy. Those two had contact earlier and cost Nagy a right front tire. Mark Gordon pulling away now. Almost half straightaway advantage over the 30 of Gord Shepard. Chenoweth rides in the tire tracks to the 30 of Shepard as they try to march forward and see if they can reel in the 52 of Mark Gordon, the Just Hockey BioSteel. 52 machine solidly out in front, starting to pull away and build that lead. Frank Davey now to the inside of Brandon McFerrin. That's for the 4th spot. The Stewart's Equipment Energy Byproducts 56S machine up to the high side. Frank Davey down low. Davey, the defending champion, would like to get back to victory lane. Those laps are winding down. He's got to march forward. The Bullseye Axe on 49 machine up, takes the position, and he'll bring Tyler Bullion with him. McFerrin's troubles aren't over yet. Here comes Corey McAllister in that 71 machine down the bottom side of the racetrack, trying to get that car to work. Shepard now under pressure from the 89 machine of Sean Chenoweth, the Transaction Truck Part, London Recreational Racing, Quick Fire Starters. KR Communications 89C machine on the move. All over the rear bumper cover of Gord Shepard. Those two have closed up a little on Mark Gordon at the front of the field, but not able to get within striking distance quite yet. Chenoweth all over the rear bumper, tries to make the move low off of turn number 4. Shepard seen it coming, was able to keep the door closed. Shepard running just a little bit up off the bottom, leaving a little bit of daylight there for Sean Chenoweth to try to take advantage of it. Chenoweth unable to do so far. They'll come up on the lap car, Steve Legere. We got contact down the back straightaway. Remington in the 47 and the 08 of Downey get together. Downey got those rear tires just down in the grass, and once that happened, he had no hope of saving that Downey roofing. Mark Rainford Ottoson, our number 08 machine, able to get it refired and rolling once again. We come to the Great Canadian RV green flag once again. Contact down the front straightaway. Shepard and Gordon get together. The 89C of Chenoweth goes spinning. He makes contact with the inside retaining wall. Looks like everyone else able to skate through. I see Paul Maltese sideways down through the grass. We see how much damage is done to Chenoweth's London Recreational Racing Quick Fire Starters 89C machine. As he able to get the car fired up and drive away from the scene. See the rear bumper pushed down. They'll have to go to the pit road. See if they can get that rear quarter panel pulled away from the tires. Might have a little bit of a tire rub there. That's going to reshuffle things at the front of the field. Gordon still your leader, but Frank Davey now to the outside. Your defending race winner with 5 laps to go on the restart. Trying to pull this one off. We got caution once again. Someone has lost a tire. Leaving it to the 57 of Jeremy Dodd. We got a Pro around, Chenoweth around, and Remington. Looks like all drivers starting to try to fire up those cars and move away as the leaders come circling past. We'll try this one again. Come to the Great Canadian RV green flag off of turn number 4. Gordon on the inside, Davey the outside. Davey the slight advantage as they come across the straight down into turn number 1. Gordon though powers ahead off of 2 and down the back straightaway. Davey going to slide in line. The Hamley Construction Green Steel Roof .ca 49 machine. Knocking on the back door of that 52 machine as they come across the stripe. Brandon McFerrin up to 3rd. Able to clear Tyler Bullion. That time down in turn number 1. McAllister all over the rear bumper of Bullion. Looking to take the 4th spot away here late in the going. They come across the stripe. Gordon has a rear mirror full of the 49 of Frank Davey, the Talk Performance, Auto Trim Design of Barry, 49 machine. Trying to find a way by the Bauer, Just Hockey, BioSteel 52, Chevrolet Camaro. Gordon starting to pull away, which is what he needs, a little bit of breathing room by the 49 of Flying Frank Davey. McFerrin solidly in the 3rd spot with breathing room. So 4 car lengths over the 71 of Corey McAllister as laps wind down here at the 20th Annual Autumn Colors Classic. Brought to you by Pure Country 105 for the Super Stocks. As we got the 5, looks like the Lazari around once again over in turns 1 and 2. The Benson Auto Parts number 5 machine able to drive away from the scene. Now drive through the infield and wait for an opening to come back up on the racing surface. Shootout to settle this one. Green flag back in the air. Davey again with the advantage on the high side of the racetrack, trying to make it work. Knows it's what he has to do if he wants to bring home the crown once again. He's got the opening, going to slide in line behind Gordon, just ahead of McFerrin. McFerrin unable to keep Davey up on the high side of the racetrack and take the 2nd spot away. So Flying Frank Davey going to work once again. All over the rear bumper cover, that 52 car at the front of the field. Paul Pepper on the move, that 29 machine. The inside of Maltese, as we've got Crow spinning down the back straight away. See if that draws a caution or not. He's able to drive away from the scene. Crow going to hit pit roads. This one will stay green. Mark Gordon now out in front. McFerrin pressuring the 49 of Davey. They'll come with the checkered flag off of turn number 4. Gordon with the win. Davey for 2nd. McFerrin 3rd. McAllister 4th. And Paul Pepper will round out the top 5. Now we have the Outlaw Midgets presented by Innisfil Canadian Tire, as well as the Ontario Pro Sprints. Running a combination feature here after rain pushed their features here to Sunday afternoon after Saturday was a wash here at the Autumn Colors Classic. It will be the 71 of McKibben and the 8 machine. That is Larry Lawson leading the field to green. We have a little bit of contact. 31 machine. That is Adrian Kemp for 31K. Up to the 2nd spot, so this is a race inside of a race. The Pro Sprints running for their own position. And the Outlaw Midgets running for their own. Jessica James, that 2 machine, the Wagner painting ride. Down through the infield grass. Jumps out in front, lost in the 8 machine. Trying to hold on the MCI Automation. BW Towing. 8 machine up to second. Jumps out in front. One of those pro sprints. Suspension on those cars. The Outlaw Midgets with none. Down now on the move with number 5 machine. The Midas Lawrence will MTM bearings number 5 to the high side of the racetrack. Going to take second spot away. First overall in the Outlaw Midget class. Drivers starting to sort things out here as we get rolling. The 14 of Dave Inglis goes by, looking for room to work the 4. Jamie Kay to the inside. Going to be 3 wide down the back straight with the 24. Brian Brown up on the high side. And now Tobler and Sons 24 machine looking for room to work. We got one car slow down the front straightaway. Everyone able to get by. Jamie Kay comes away with the position. Ahead up round. Here comes the 75. That is Sean Stanley, one of the Ontario Pro Sprint cars. Diving the inside of round down the front straightaway just behind Kay in that number 4 machine. Jessica James on the move. The Wagner painting 2 machine trying to march back through the field after going through the infield grass on lap number 2. Stanley in that 75 machine now able to get clear of the 4 of Kay. Kay's going to yield the position here to the inside. Here comes the 2 of Jessica James as Kay goes up the racetrack. Round now to the bottom of that 24 machine trying to make it work. Kay able to keep the door closed as the 24 Brown falls back in line. Out front though. It is now the 57 of James Stanley running in second behind the 31K of Kemp. Found the first Outlaw Midget in the number 5 machine, runs in the 3rd spot overall. There's the 14 of Inglis, the 71 of McKibben. They work down the back straightaway. 18 there, that is Adam Tayo. 75, that is Sean Stanley, one of the pro sprints, going to the high side. Jessica James on the move in the number 2 machine. Over for the 18, he slows and moves up the racetrack. That's going to allow James to go by. The number 2 machine continually marching forward through the field. A former feature winner here at Peterborough Speedway is the 2 of Jessica James. James picked up the feature winner Sunset Speedway as well earlier this year. Looking to make it 3 wide down the back straightaway. Unable to make that happen. She'll split the difference and go through the middle. Jessica James charging through the field. Split the 8 of Larry Lawson. And able to take over the position as she continues to march through the field, trying to get ahead of all the Outlaw Midgets, the non-suspension cars, to take over the lead in that division. 57 machine. Stanley out in front. Number James Stanley in the 57. 31K of Kemp, still the leader in that 31 machine. Nice and smooth at the front of the field. Stanley trying to close in, the laps winding down. They come through lap traffic, that's going to hold up Stanley at the front of the field. Kemp's on the move. The outside of the 8 of Lawson, going to put some of these cars a lap down. 18 of Blackburn trying to hold the spot. Kemp's will go to the inside, making quick work of lap traffic. Going to come up on the 40 machine, that's Josh Inglis. And the Generator Pros ride, put him a lap down. We have caution on the racetrack for the first time with the Ontario Pro Sprints and the Outlaw Midgets. Like the 46 of the hooligan Rob Harrison, the Blade Cutters ride, facing the wrong way. Able to get that car spun back around and move it again. One of the Outlaw Midgets, the non-suspension cars. Gets in line just beside the 77 of Sheldon Bender. We get the old green flag once again. This is what Stanley needed in that 57 machine. And comes right back to him, working the high side of the racetrack. The 57 machine strong on the high side of the racetrack. Kemp's trying to fire back down on the bottom. Down into turn number 3, side by side. They come off of turn number 4. Back to the straight. Great side by side battle for the lead. Kemp's let him back to the straight that time by Stanley. Trying to make the outside of the racetrack work in that 57 ride. Kemp's going to clear Stanley, take over the top spot. Stanley trying to fire back off of turn number 4. Kemp still with the advantage down in turn number 1. Stanley going to turn the car to the bottom. Going to go to the inside, down the back straightaway, side by side. Now Stanley on the bottom, going to slide back in line. Caution is out. So we got the 40 of Josh Inglis facing the wrong way, as well as the 77 of Sheldon Bender. Car Stanley up in turn number 1. They're able to continue on the Generator Pros 40 machine of Josh Inglis. Back to restart line once again. Green flag back in the air for the Outlaw in Ontario Pro Sprint Midgets. Stanley with a great run this time on the high side of the racetrack in the 57 machine. They'll go to the top spot. Kemp's now back to second. Blackburn in that number 18 machine. The highest runner right now in the Outlaw Midgets, the non-suspension cars, with Jessica James who can take the spot away and solidify herself in the winning position in the Outlaw Midgets, and she does so, slides up to third overall. Ahead of Blackburn in that 18 machine. Stanley starting to stretch Armstrong that lead out in front in that 57 machine. Half straightaway advantage now over the 31 of Kemp. And so the majority of this race is starting to fall back here. Jessica James runs in the third spot overall. Here comes 75 of Sean Stanley working on the high side of the racetrack. The outside of Blackburn, that 18 machine, Jamie Kane in the 4, and the 24 of Brown right there as well. Side by side. Stanley with the advantage through the corners with the suspension setup on that 75 machine. As they come up on a slower lap car, everyone gets single foul, gets around the lap car off of turn number 4. That's winding down here for the Outlaw Midgets and Ontario Pro Sprints. Stanley has checked out as the white flag fell. Final time down the back straightaway they'll go. Into turn number 3. Off of 4, Stanley going to pick up the win. It will be Kemp's for second, and Jessica James will round out the podium overall for this feature event. Set to fire, Bone Stock. We're going to go 40 laps the distance here for the Bone Stocks. I get the thumbs up. I am right. I win nothing. But we're going to go 40 laps anyways. Green flag with the Bone Stock at the Autumn Colors Classic. A nice slow start. They funnel down the front straightaway. Craig Cole going to go high, wide, and handsome down there in turn number 1. Trying to make the jump from deep in the field. We got Smoke. We got Novus down the infield in that 21 machine. The Austin Cooper down the infield. We got one sideways. Connor Park sideways. Agriculture Racing. Around goes Rick Van Cleef. Sam Van Cleef can get that FMC Automotive and Truck 52 machine moving from turn number 4. And unfortunately, I think I won't make the ruling, but I'll wait for it. Van Cleef now driving away from the scene as the caution came out. And Parks again sliding to the grass under the caution. Looking for the green flag off of 4. Bone Stocks back underway for their 40-lap main event. Craig Cole now jumping to the inside of Eric Stewart in that 82 machine. He'll fall back in line. And we got we got Glenn Schmidt getting airborne, I believe, off the 71. Novus gets slowed up in time. He almost made contact with the outside retaining wall just in front of the ambulance. And these Bone Stock drivers, they are not paying attention to the light. They're racing back around, not looking at the flagman, not looking at the lights. So green flag set to fire once again. Pace truck hits pit road. Givens with the jump in the Caldecott Millwright number 0 machine. Tries to slide down in front of Laval. Connor Parks getting aggressive at the 98 up on the high side of the racetrack. He'll slot into the 3rd spot. Here comes Finnegan to the outside of Stewart down the back straightaway. 3 wide down the back straightaway. Eric Stewart in no man's land in that 82 machine, trapped in the middle. He'll now get to the bottom side of the racetrack. Spencer Riddell there Stewart trying to get to the bottom. Riddell's going to let him in. Alex Stewart all the way up the hill in that 16 machine at the front of the field. He's going to lose ground. 3 wide again. Chris Kahn down the bottom side of the racetrack. That 48 machine trying to march his way forward. Here comes Novus in the 45 to the inside of Connor Ellis. A little bit of contact that time off the 4 down the front straightaway. Phil Gibbons to the top spot now, but here comes Finnegan in the 25 machine. He's got some nose damage. The hood crumpled up on that number 25 car. Slots into the second spot behind your leader Phil Gibbons. They'll go to work down the front straightaway.
Steve Finnegan, a past winner here at Peterborough Speedway, won a feature not too long ago. It was his first feature win ever. He would love to cap off the year with a Autumn Colors win.
And trouble deeper in the field. Chris Kahn all sorts of sideways. That car up the racetrack, able to get going again. Everyone able to avoid the 48 car as he slid up the racetrack. Not sure if he had something to go away or contact from behind. That 48 car took on up the racetrack towards the outside retaining wall.
Finnegan's and Given just battling it out for the lead. Finnegan turning hard left. You can see that push on the car. Givens not giving him any room at all.
Finnegan working the high side of the racetrack. Givens down low. Side by side for the top spot. Down the bottom side. Finnegan with a slight advantage. Givens powers it out down the back straightaway. Down on the bottom side. The Enidville Garage number 0 machine holding off Finnegan so far. The fourth outdoor to court.
Looks like that hood on Finnegan's car is going to pop up.
Well, you have to wonder. I've seen him kind of use the bumper when he was behind Gibbons. You have to wonder the strategy on that. If you've already got the damage, if you really want to push the limit on what that hood pin's going to hold to keep the hood down. He's got both sides crumpled in on that 26 machine. Again, there you see it. Putting the bumper to Gibbons, and that car lower than the 0 ahead of him. He'll again sneak to the inside, trying to keep the spot. Gibbons moves up the racetrack. Side by side, they come off of turn number 4 just ahead as they come up on lap traffic. Finnegan able to slide up the racetrack. Gibbons tried to use the pick, but had to yield the lane. Will Barberstock going to go a lap down. Cash Ireton and Dave Feeney in the 71 machine, all losing laps to the leader at this point in time. So Finnegan now out in front, starting to pull away from the 0 Gibbons. Gibbons very good at these long distance races. He's won most of the playoffs this year. Christian Laval in trouble. The Dan's Blanche Fair 06 machine down to the infield. That Pontiac Sunfire, see if he can make the hard left turn behind the wall and not bring out the caution. Looks like he'll do so, get off the racing surface and out of harm's way. Good job to Christian Laval. Leaders working heavy lap traffic now. Finnegan out in front. Gibbons in second. Then it's the 45 of Kyle Novus. Novus runs in third. Stockton from 0-1. I believe that is in the 4th spot.
Finnegan excited to be here at Autumn Colors like he is every year. He's been here a lot of years, usually working, but this time he's here to party.
He gets to play and he's doing it well so far. Out in front. See what Gibbons does though. Gibbons, a master of these long distance races, ran the 75 lap extended race at Delaware Speedway earlier this year for the Bone Stock. He knows what it takes when you get deep in the running. I don't know if Finnegan quite has that experience going in the later laps. So see, maybe he burns up that right front a little too early, so not quite to the halfway point yet. Trouble Van Cleef in the 52, he's going to hit pit road. The FMC truck and auto machine. Slow on pit road, but he'll make it there. No caution needed. Trouble down the back straightaway. Chris to the outside retaining wall.
Gone hard into the wall. Car went airborne.
They were 3 wide with Alex Stewart on the outside, and the 2 made contact, and around went the 48 of this 40-lap race for the Bone Stocks here at the Autumn Colors Classic. Up the hill they go. Finnegan trying to get the run down the hill, coming to start-finish line. Gibbons with a slight advantage down at turn number 1 on the top side. Finnegan with the advantage now off at 2 down the back straightaway. Novus the 45 machine going to try to fill the spot down the back straightaway. Gibbons unable to slide down in line. He'll be up on the high side of the racetrack. Newmeister the 92 machine. We got the 55 extra Craig Cole way up the hill. That time to 3 and 4. Newmeister, defending race winner, up to the 4th spot. Down the back straightaway now in line behind Phil Gibbons. Connor Ellis, the 48C machine, rounds out the top 5. Brandon Feeney on the move, up to the 6th spot now. To the inside of Joe Dunlop. And the 3 wide, Cash Ireton off the base, that 54 machine. A couple of drivers going by him down the bottom side, down the front straightaway. Some of the faster cars, Michael Neumeister went to pit road looking for room to work, trying to march his way forward. Kyle Neumeister trying to find some room to work. He went high through 1 and 2, lost a little bit of ground to Phil Gibbons. Gibbons running the defensive line, down the back straightaway into turn number 3. Neumeister getting crossed up again, that time through 3 and 4, losing more ground to Phil Gibbons, the number 0 machine. The Caldecott Millwright ride, trying to close back in on the Ballard Automotive 45 machine of Kyle Novus at Honda Civic. Novus catches the wall down the back straightaway, and around goes the 45. He able to hold on to it down to the infield. Little agricultural racing.
Looks like he's got a right rear tire gone down.
Just caught the wall and knocked the right rear off the bead, and that will send him to the infield. That's going to hand second place back over to Phil Gibbons. But Gibbons now with a good distance stop for the 26 of Finnegan. Finnegan out in front, almost a half straightaway advantage over the 0 Phil Gibbons. Gibbons has a mirror full, the 92 of Neumeister. Novus stops on pit road, trying to draw the caution. He's losing lap after lap, sitting there. So even if he gets the penalty, he's already going laps down, sitting at the entrance, sitting at the exit of pit road, and that will now draw the caution. So Novus now drives away. We'll have to see there's a penalty on that one.
Finnegan definitely is driving the wheels off that car up front. Don't know if you realize the kind of nose damage he's got. So you don't know. Probably his best. 15 to go.
If you don't know, it didn't happen, right?
Flag go wide open they go. At least he's got clean air in front of him for now.
And that's bad news for Gibbons up on the high side. That's going to allow Neumeister to slide by on down the bottom side of the racetrack. Down the back straightaway they go. The 92 machine off to the 2nd spot. Looking to go back to back with bone stock wins here at the Autumn Colors Classic is Cal Neumeister in the 92 machine. The Bartley Welding 92 car in tow of the 26. The 4th outdoor to 4 ride. Stephen Finnegan at the front of the field. Gibbons back in 3rd. Connor Ellis 4th. And Brandon Feeney runs in the 5th spot. Here comes Craig Cole, the 55X machine. To the outside of Roland Goodfellow in the 44 car. Through 3 and 4, going to lose some ground on the high side of the racetrack is Cole in that 55X machine, but not going to slide in line. Still trying to work the high side of the racetrack to crack the top 5. Feeney now under pressure. Here comes Goodfellow in that 44 machine down on the bottom. They'll go to the inside and Feeney up the racetrack through 3 and 4. Craig Cole going to try to fill the spot. Calvin Reeser there as well. And the very Nissan number 2 machine. Craig Cole on the move, got past Brandon Feeney now to the inside of Roland Goodfellow. Goodfellow up the hill, so goes Craig Cole. Here comes Calvin Reeser, trying to gain a couple of spots, gets past Feeney and Goodfellow. Couldn't make the move on the 55 of Cole, but he'll slide into the 6th spot, just behind the 55X machine. Out front though, Feeney now under pressure. Here comes the 92 of Neumeister. Knocking on the back door.
Finnegan goes high. Neumeister down on the inside. Finnegan trying to hold him off.
Trying to take the lane away down the back straightaway and pinch Neumeister down into the corner. Trying to keep the momentum up on the high side. Again, contact down the front straightaway. Finnegan able to keep going straight. Right front flat for Neumeister. A right front flat for Kyle Neumeister. The Bartley Welding machine goes up the hill. We got the right front wheel off the 44. Roland Goodfellow off of turn number 4. It's going to roll to the infield, but Goodfellow has to come to a stop on the front straightaway.
That's a big break for Neumeister. He might be able to still get in the middle of this with a flat tire and replace it.
Craig Cole make up row number 2. Then it's Calvin Reeser and Brandon Feeney in row number 3. Green flag in the air off of turn number 4 for the Bone Stocks once again.
Finnegan with an impressive lead off the front.
Gibbons with the smart move, let him go, slides in line. Knows he can't make the outside work, going to try to mount the charge down low. Fitting up the racetrack just about a half a lane from the bottom. Everybody trying to get what they can deeper in the pack. Novus, the 45 car, charging through the field. Works the inside of Brad Lavelle deeper in the pack. Calvin Reeser now to the inside of Craig Ellis, Connor Ellis.
Oh no, Novus and Novus make contact. Both go sideways. The bumper
they're not done yet. Down the track.
Done yet.
Something broke on the 45 car. That car just kept trying to hang a left down the front straightaway. He's got a whole left front suspension broken. We got debris on the front straightaway. Caution is out. The 45 car almost up in the wall trying to keep that car moving. Laval going to take the 6th car to the pits. So the winner net down on the 45 of Kyle Novus on the back straightaway. Looks like unable to move that car. 3 laps to go. They pick up the pace in the turn 3 and 4. Green flag back in the air. Gibbons going to try to slide in line. Contact from Craig Cole, able to get clear is Gibbons. He'll slide into the 2nd spot. Reeser to the outside. Here comes Connor Ellis in the 48 machine. Down on the bottom.
2 to go. Steve Finnegan, Gibbons.
Gibbons now up to 2nd. Craig Cole trying to make it happen. Reeser up on the high side. Not going to give up the 4th spot that easily. Trying to make it work. High, wide, and handsome is the 2 machine. White flag in the air. Brandon Feeney trying to crack the top 5 in the 38 machine.
Next flag ends the race no matter what.
Final time into 3. Finnegan with the advantage. He's going to bring it home. Checkered flag in the air for Stephen Finnegan. Gibbons for 2nd. Cole in 3rd, 4th will go to Connor Ellis, and Calvin Reeser will round out the top 5.
Steve Finnegan is going to the Dart Heating and Air Conditioning victory lane. Steve Finnegan is the newest Autumn Colors champion. Let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Steve Finnegan! Careful, Steve. That's a sharp you're carrying. Come on, friend, Steve.
Yeah, you know what? You can miss that. 45 the sucker.
Winner chicken dinner, but Steve had this right. But definitely the there. New is coming. Lots of cautions were expected, but your game plan for this race seemed to pay off.
Yeah, I got a little fender benders there, and obviously I was just hoping that the car was going to put together, and he did, so I just kept the hammer down.
You know, a lot of people help you obviously race. Who would you like to thank getting here? Because it is a lot of work for race night.
I just want to thank all my Farnborough Racing, Ryan Earthfield for all the work he did in the car, my parents, my wife, they just wanted to park it and go lane and here again.
Give it up for Steve Finnegan! Second is Phil, obviously you had a front row seat to a lot of crazy racing up there, but you managed to save it and survive, and you got 2nd place out of it.
Yeah, I'm happy. You know what? It's been a good run. Yeah, I don't know. I like winning, but you know what? 2nd place is, you come out here, it's the best of the best. And Craig, you know what? I was doing everything to keep Craig behind me, and we've battled pretty hard throughout the year so far, wherever we are, and we had fun there. But it's good to see Steve win, and you know what? It's a home track guy, and he raced his ass off. Pardon my language, but he did. So.
You know, a lot of people have to help you get here, and this is the Autumn Colors Classic. Who would you like to thank getting here?
I got to thank Corey McAllister, called the Cobnell Race, and Go Garage, and my fiance.
I think he's pretty excited. Give it up for Phil Gibbons! And your 3rd place bone stock winner is Craig Cole. Give it up for coming here and making a show of it. So, Craig, you definitely had a front row seat to all the action up front. What were your thoughts as the race wound down?
Yeah, it was a tough one there. We blew a tire at the very beginning, had to go from the back twice. Managed to make her up there. A lot of fast cars here today. Like I said, race place guys. We need to...
So, who'd you like to thank getting here? I know it's a lot of work. Who'd you like to thank actually to help him get here?
Oh, my pit crew, Stefan, my racing, assistants in Auckland, London, Ontario, there. Great group down there. Any legal aid you might need. Friends and family, that's about it.
Congratulations by coming again next year for the Autumn Carters Classic, the 29th annual. Give it up for your top three of the Bone Stocks.
And he's in the wrong gear, now he's going forward. Here we go, off of turn number 4. Green flag in the air for the Queensland Chevrolet Modified Tour. Reinhardt goes up the hill. Everingham trying to take advantage down the bottom side of the racetrack. Cameron runs in the 3rd spot. Here comes Falston, the 6-time Peterborough Speedway track champion, 2018 Autumn Colors Classic champion, up on the high side. AJM's working to his inside, trying to take the 4th spot away. Here comes Cameron down on the bottom of the inside of Everingham. The one in recreational racing, have rock medals, number 89 Steam Machine to the front of the field. AJM's going to follow him through down on the bottom. Everingham able to slam the door on Reinhardt. We got Bob Frank down to the grass on the front straightaway. Everyone able to keep going straight. Jason Keane up on the high side of the racetrack. He's falling out almost outside the top 10 now. Here comes Herb Walters. Caution is out on the racetrack. We got the 47 plane stopped in the grass down the middle of the back straightaway. 3 laps in. That would be the first caution. 2 laps in. We're back to the last completed lap. McLean back down pit road to the attention of the team. Kelly Balson in 6th to his outside. Cameron starts to pick up the pace as they get into turn number 3. M's on the loud pedal as well on the outside. Green flag back in the air. Cameron with the launch of the Seat Constructors number 89 machine down in turn number 1. He'll lead him down the back straightaway. M's to 2nd. Reinhardt goes to the outside. He'll jump to the 3rd spot just ahead of Colton Everingham. TJ Edwards runs in the 5th spot. Balson up on the high side. He's got Jeff Walt to his inside in that 52 machine. The real deal. Trying to work his way forward. Edwards now going to the inside of Everingham. Everingham sliding back on the outside. Lap number 4. Walt going to go to 5th. If he stays there this time by at the stripe, he'll get the $100 bonus from BAE Environmental. Some of the bonus money put up here this weekend at the Autumn Colors Classic. Cameron leads him back to the stripe. Walt going to pick up the bonus of $100, being 5th in line on lap number 5. Herb Walters trying to move forward to the inside of Jason Keane down the back straightaway. The Michelle Coxwell, number 66 machine, trying to move forward. Walters making his modified debut this weekend behind a car he recently purchased. They had to check up. He looked to the inside of Colton Everingham. Everingham slammed the door shut down the back straightaway, and that caused Keane and Ryan Dix to check up behind him. Dix got some damage. Now Walters able to get past the 96. Colton Everingham. He falls back through the field. Jason Keane going to follow him through as well. Keane 2nd in points. The risk of falling back to 3rd the way AJM runs on the racetrack right now with the advantage in the 2nd spot. Camera very rapidly closing in on the tail of the field. Brent McLean, the first car in his sights to go a lap down, about a lap or 2 away from that happening. As they close in on the rear of the field, Craig Downey, smoke coming off that 79 machine. J.R. Fitzpatrick runs in the 6th spot. He's marched his way from the tail of the field, driving that Ibach Springs Taunton tire, number 77, filling in for Chad Strawn. Big wiggle for Luke Chinak, that time through 1 and 2. That's it up the door for Kelly Balson. Here comes the Mountain of Molten Lust to the inside. The B10 machine will take the spot. And that quick fire starters, London Recreational Racing B10 machine. The mods rapidly working their way around the Peterborough Speedway. McLean a lap down. Now Wally Wilson. Cameron's going to set his sights on Ben Drunts next. After that, it'll be Relentless Tommy Robb. AJM's trying to close the gap to lap traffic. Black Flag Mechanical out for the 79 to Craig Downey. The smoke coming off the right side of that 79 machine. Everingham with trouble. Looks like he's going to hit pit road. The Have1.com Fireplace and Patio Stop 96 machine down pit road to the attention of the crew. Black flag for Craig Downey once again. Caution is out. Caution is out for the 96, for the 79 sorry of Craig Downey. Downey not yielding the black flag. Officials feeling the need to get him off the racetrack. Might be fluid or something coming out of that 79 machine, but they want to make sure that they get him off the racing surface. Downey being shown the black flag once again. So a torrid pace set early by the Instant Classic Andy Cameron at the London Recreational Racing Havelock Metals number 89 machine. Starts to pick up the pace into 3 and 4. Green flag back in the air. AJM's trying to get down the racetrack. Dale Reinhardt is there. See if Reinhardt can keep it trapped up on the high side. M's able to clear him down the back straightaway, down into turn number 3. M's with the advantage. He'll go back to the second spot. Reinhardt in third, Edwards fourth, Walt fifth. J.R. Fitzpatrick now runs in the sixth spot. The 66 of Herb Walters now working the inside of Balson. That's for the sixth position on the racetrack. Herb Walters having a good strong run here with his debut at the Queenston Chevrolet Modified Tour. Camera's out in front. 3-car length advantage over AJM's. M's with a rear bumper full of Dale Reinhardt in that 51 machine. Reinhardt not going anywhere. Walt holds on to the fifth spot. J.R. Fitzpatrick wants it. Fitzpatrick looking to the inside, trying to set up the move. The Walt Fav, number 52 machine, holds on to the fifth spot right now. Best run of the year. They fought mechanical groundlings with that 52 car all year long. Walt getting to run it here this weekend. That car coming out of the Mark Gordon Racing Stable. Mark Gordon already went to victory lane with the Super Stock division here at the Autumn Colors Classic, brought to you by Lucas Oil and Pure Country 105. Here comes the 77 of J.R. Fitzpatrick now to the inside of Walt. That'll be for the fifth spot. Walt shuffled back to sixth. No pressure from behind for the 52 machine. Herb Walters a good distance back. He's got a rear bumper full of the B10 of the crowd pleaser Kelly Balson. The cars at the back of the field running side by side. Camera's rapidly closing in on them. We'll have to see if they get sorted out before Camera's gets there. If not, that could hold him up. We got trouble. Walt up out of the racing room. Looks like something broke on the left front. The left front wheel tucked up in on that Walt Fab Just Honky Bomber Industrial number 52 machine. So something on the left front suspension broke. He was running by himself after Fitzpatrick got by. So definitely not related to contact, just something gone away. And it looks like Walt is going to take it to the outfield work area. Camras and M's pick up the pace off at turn number 4. Reinhardt trying to stay tucked up onto the rear bumper. The 89 of Camrat. Looks like he's got a good run this time. Down in turns 1 and 2. M's trapped up on the high side of the racetrack. Here comes the 77 of J.R. Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick to the inside of AJM's now from the tail of the field. The substitute driver up to the third spot. Trouble for TJ Edwards. He got down out of the racing group. That time down the front straightaway. The Can-Do Homes number 34 machine. Back to the fifth spot. M's runs in fourth. Herb Walters in sixth. Kelly Balson seventh. If Balson can stay there, he'll pick up $100 from Derek's Mowers and Blowers. If he runs in that position at lap 25. Fitzpatrick going to work, looking to the bottom side of the racetrack of Dale Reinhardt. The I-Box Springs, Taunton Tire, number 77 machine. Here he comes to the inside, off of 2 and down the back straightaway. Reinhardt gets up into the wall a little bit. Able to keep it going straight though. See if we can slide back down in line. Walters gets crossed up in that 66 machine. From Michelle's top soil line, all sorts of sideways. Balson had to get on the binders from running him over. Cross tags to the line. 25 laps in, 25 laps to go. So at the line, Balson going to pick up the bonus from Derek's Mowers and Blowers.
Andy Camrath turning a 13.795 last time by, now a 13.8. Very consistent and very fast, faster than the rest of the track.
Sean Chenoweth must have got on the radio and told Camrath, Fitzpatrick from the tail of the field to second, light the wick, it's time to go. If you got it, go. Because Fitzpatrick is coming, trying to close the gap. Almost a second back is Fitzpatrick. We'll see what it is this time at the line if Fitzpatrick's able to close the gap at all. 9-1-3. So closing it just a little by little, lap after that. We'll see what happens as they work lap traffic. Cameras now coming up on Wally Wilson. This time at the line. 971, advantage back to Camera. You have to wonder, Fitzpatrick maybe trying to save his stuff just a little, hoping for a late race caution. 10th place at the line this time by. We'll get $100 from Simply Accurate Design. Should be the 11 of Norm Newman. Newman going to pick up that running in the 10th spot for Simply Accurate Design. $100 bonus for Norm Newman running in the 10th spot. The gap now down to half a second. Fitzpatrick closing slowly but surely. Lap after that. We'll see what they are at the line this time by. 13.949 for Cameras. 8.13.880 for Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick, the faster car right now on the racetrack. He's still got time to get there. They'll work past Brent McLean. Fitzpatrick is there, the Nerf bar. Within reach now, the rear bumper of Andy Camrat. Here comes the one in Recreational Racing 89 machine, working to the outside of Jace Cornell. Fitzpatrick gonna go to the bottom, gonna try to set him up. The iBox Spring 77 machine to second. Gonna fall in line to the outside around Jace Cornell, trying to set Camrat up. If he's going to make a move, he's going to want to do it quick before they get to lap traffic again. Remember, the leader on lap 40 going to get $100. Fitzpatrick is there. A little bit of shot for the Nerf bar. That time off of fourth, the rear of Camrat. Trying to make it happen from the rear of the field. Camrat to the outside, working to the outside of lap traffic. Fitzpatrick looks to the inside, has to fall in line. Unable to use the lap cars as a pick right now. Camera sails it on the top side of the racetrack, the outside of Frank in the 72 machine. Fitzpatrick again. Look to the bottom, tried to make it happen, unable to make anything go so far. It's one thing to catch him, it's another thing to pass him. Fitzpatrick able to clear Tommy Robinson right in the tire tracks to the 89 of Andy Camrat. This time at the line. $100 to your leader, Andy Camrat. In memory of Rudy Oppersma. Camrat, with 10 to go, going to pick up the $100 bonus. But now the race is on. We're into the deep waters. What's Camrat's got left? Fitzpatrick down over the curve, trying to make something happen. Third, fourth, and fifth run nose to tail. Reinhardt, Ems, and Edwards, but the battle is at the front of the field. The battle for the lead. Fitzpatrick is there. He's pushing him to 3 and 4. Camrat has lost a little bit of grip in that 89C machine. And Fitzpatrick is trying to make it happen, filling in for Chad Strong, the 77 machine. Camrat moved up the hill. Fitzpatrick tried to fill the hole. That's going to cost Fitzpatrick some time as he had to get on the binders. Laps winding down here at the front of the field. Camrat now with a slight advantage over Fitzpatrick. Last time by at the line. Camrat's a little faster than Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick trying to work the outside of Ryan Dick. That's going to cost him some time. The Darryl Dick excavating 88G machine held up Fitzpatrick just a little. Fitzpatrick now to the outside of Brent McLean. Lap traffic not leaving Fitzpatrick a chance to close the gap. McLean up the hill off the bottom of the racetrack. That's going to slow Fitzpatrick again. That time at the line. Fitzpatrick just a little bit faster, but Camrat's pulling away. Now with no traffic in front of him. He should be able to finish this one off without getting into lap traffic. It's now a duel at the front of the field. Can Fitzpatrick get back to the 89C of Andy Camrat? Camrat looking to double down, your 2019 champion of the Autumn Colors Classic here at Peterborough Speedway. Fitzpatrick trying to close the gap, unable to do so. Almost a half-second advantage. White flag in the air for Andy Camrat. final time down the back straightaway. They won't have any lap traffic. Final time off of 4. Andy Camerath with the win. Fitzpatrick for second. Third will be AJ Ems. Fourth is going to go to TJ Edwards and clinch the Queenston Chevrolet Modified Tour Championship. And Dale Reinhardt will round out the top 5. Coming up out of the car, make some noise. Your feature winner, the Instant Classic, Andy Camerath.
Well, Andy, no stranger to Victor Lane, but not in color, especially the 28th annual. It had to be pretty special no matter what was going to happen.
Yeah, you know what? JR kept us honest there. I seen up on the board that he got up to second, and Sean came over the radio, and he goes 77's in second there. He goes, you might want to start getting after it, and we had to.
Yeah, no doubt. And it wasn't an easy race because you knew you were on the go pedal right from the get-go. What was your strategy? Try to hold on to it, save something for the end? No, you didn't have that luck.
You know what? I rode till about lap 25, and honestly, I seen 77 get up on the board there, and I'm like, there's no more riding. We got to go. And I caught the bumper a couple times from him, but we've traded paint enough times over the years, so it's all good.
Yeah, no doubt. And obviously a long weekend for you. Who'd you like? Just not all by yourself.
You know, I gotta thank Sean Chenoweth. You know, it's a team effort. Bob, Mike, Scott was on the radio today, did an awesome job. My wife, Warren, my brother-in-law, has been helping me out a lot this year. You know, Paul and them guys as well, and then you know, Mike Schmidt, London Rec, all the sponsors. I can't thank everybody enough. And Dennis at AP, he built one hell of a motor.
Give it up for your feature winner for the Autumn Colors Classic, Andy Camerath. In your second place for the Oscar race here for the Autumn Colors Classic. Obviously, Chad Strong would have loved to run it, but he picked a good, let's just say, substitute driver, which is no selection himself, JR Fitzpatrick. JR, looks like you're trying to save your stuff a little bit. And they went, nah, you know what? I can't do that with Camerath. It's time to go. If he's going to be on the throttle, then so do you. How did you plan it out?
Yeah, I mean, starting that far back, I was a little concerned getting up through there, but man, that car was really hooked up, and for not having any practice and literally wedging my lanky butt in there, it was working pretty darn good. So had a lot of fun chasing Andy. We're buddies, and I loved giving him that little bump. That kind of made my day. So looking forward to taking this momentum into the late model race here and have some fun. But man, I got to thank Chad and his whole family and his crew. This is a great opportunity, and literally just found out like half hour ago. So got to thank them guys. They prepared a really good car, and these are fun. I really would like to get in one of these again.
Uh-oh, look out for next year, the 29th annual. JR Fitzpatrick, your second place. Oscar, modified placer. Hey, Jay, I don't know if I can make the mic come this far, but man, you had a front row seat to some of the best racing I've seen in a long time here in a hot rod mod. So what are your thoughts, actually, after 50 laps of that?
Oh, you know what? It's a good, solid finish to finish third. Overall, you know what? The car came in a little bit late for us there, but overall, really happy to finish top 3 with the year that we've had. We've kind of had a lot of luck, but you know what? To finish third at Autumn Colors and to some competition that we have out here, I'm very fortunate. Big thanks to Oscar for all the work that they do each and every year. Thanks to Queenston Chevrolet. Thanks to Peterborough Speedway for everything they do for us to have this event. EAE Environmental, Klotz Canada, all my sponsors that support me on this ride. I couldn't be here without them.
Give it up for your third place finisher, AJMs!
But we are getting ready to go green with Langell, the control car on the inside. The invert was 3. And it's an all-Canadian Legend Cars front row. Langell is gone. A green flag is in the air. We're underway for the Ontario Legend Series here at Autumn Colors Classic. And quickly, it's a side-by-side battle for second. Parker had a little bit of an issue trying to get up at a corner number 2. We've got 1, 2, 3 broken the back straightaway. They're all trying to go straight. And that's a caution. It looked like for a moment they were all trying to fumble the ball.
It did.
And somebody had to come out on top, and 40 laps for the Ontario Legend Series presented by Trailers Plus. And we'll come through the box. Green flag is out, and we are underway. Good even start down into corner number 1 and 2 in the 57 of Langell, trying to take it away from Huff to the outside, and look at the run that Nagy gets down the back straightaway. He'll look to the inside of McFadden. Little bumper tag there, little sideways, and somehow they all save it.
Looked like Langell just kind of came onto the brakes a little bit, and everybody else is carrying a little bit more speed than he was in turn 4. Matt Huff down to the inside of Langell. Traves is going to follow right along behind him. Cole McFadden, or not Cole McFadden, but the 17 of Hudson Nagy. And Cole McFadden, your top 5. Langell gets shuffled back to 3rd.
Huff going to go to the lead, and Huff is one of those drivers that gets everything out of his race car every single lap that he can. He's going to be out to the lead now, and we'll see if he can gap Traves in the 6th. He's got about a car length down the back straightaway. Langell has cycled into position number 3 with the 17 of Nagy not too far behind. Kind of how they ran in that heat race on Friday night, as Nagy takes that look to the inside of the 57, but that's about all it is at a 2.
Cole McFadden running back there in 5th spot. Then Shane Pollock, Kenny McNichol Jr., Dawson Drimmie, and Adam Cuthbertson, along with Paul Pierce, your top 10.
A little bit of racing action around Pollock in the 3. Sideways, almost a little contact. They save it. Great piece of driving there out of corner number 2 as McNichol looked to the inside of the 3, but nothing doing there. Drimmie up the hill. Cuthbertson takes a look to the inside as well. Battle for the lead. Traves is on the back bumper of the 7 as they work by this time. The 08 will go 1 lap down. Still learning that race car. You wouldn't believe they're pitted side by side with the way they're racing right now. Parker's pouring the pressure on Matt Huff for the lead as they come by this time at a corner number 4. 9 laps completed. Top 4 have really broken away now from the rest of that running order. It's getting dicey back there. Nick Ledson started scratch on the field. He has worked his way up into the top 10. Past the 33 car, now looking over the 79 at Cuthbertson. We saw him in the heat race on Friday that the 79 kind of struggling a little bit with grip, but it looks pretty solid right now as Ledson goes by him.
Ledson, he has got a number of wins here at Peterborough Speedway in a multiple of classes, but he's always been that one of those strong drivers to beat here at Peterborough Speedway. And
it doesn't matter where he goes. I know he's strong on the U.S. Legend cars. The NX circuit has ran nationals a bunch of times and knows his way around, one of those pro division drivers, but started at the back of the field. It doesn't seem to have bugged him so far as he works to the back bumper. We got 1 around in turn number 2. That's the 77. And that will bring out the caution flag for Glenn Morris as he gets pointed the wrong direction with the 95 of Cody Newell over in corner number 2. Great little run to kick off the Ontario Legend Series. Huff leading this field with Nagy to the outside. Who can get the advantage here through the box? Green flag in the air. We're back underway. Outside line stacks up a little bit, and they put Parker Traves to the inside. Huff, one small mistake. He's forced to the outside, and Parker Traves going to go to the lead position. Huff fights back in second, and now Langell has Nagy in front. Nagy falls in the line to position number 3. That car, that driver, last couple of weeks, especially on this series, has really come into its own. And now looking up at the top 2, a little sideways at a 4 was Nagy.
Nick Ledson from the back of the pack is knocking on the back door of the top 5. An impressive charge for him. The 20 of Cole McFadden. He is a fast driver here at Peterborough Speedway, but he is getting shuffled back, almost back to the the back end of the top 10.
Pollock way out of the groove, 3 wide, down into corner number 3, and they are going to come out on the other end, even though the 20 car gets a little bit sideways. McFadden finds a spot in the line. Battle for third continues on as Langell tries to take it away from Nagy. The 15 of Ledson in position number 5 made the move on Drimmy to move him up into the top 5. And now that little bit of pressure that Matt Huff put on Parker Traves after that move on the restart. Now about a car length. He seems to drive it in deep. I think Parker's got him beat on the corner off, just a little bit smoother off of these corners. '08 car goes low. He'll go 1 lap down, 7 little bump down into corner number 3 to the back bumper of the 60. Just letting him know that he is there as we continue to work around. 18 laps completed. Closing in on the halfway point, and Huff looks to the inside, tries to set him up down into 3, but can't seem to do so. Langell trying to pull away from the 17 of Nagy, but he better get to moving because Nick Ledson is on the march to the back bumper of Nagy, and this next time by, they'll come by across the stripe, side by side, as Huff goes to the inside, halfway home, and the 7 making that move for the top spot. What a battle up in front.
They may be teammates in the pits, not on the track.
There's no teammates when you put that helmet on. The 60 now has to play chase to the 7 of Huff. 1 in the infield. McNichol is slow on the front.
Gets it back under fire on the track. No caution.
No harm, no foul. We continue on. And that little exchange up in front is closed in Langell. It's closed in Nagy, and Ledson kind of sees it. We got 1 in the back straightaway, and that will draw the caution. 95 of Cody Newell goes for a spin down the back. Just as the accordion was coming back together. We're going to make things interesting, throw that yellow flag, and we'll see the Chews come back out. This has been an exciting race so far. We're getting ready to come to green. It's the 7 of Huff to the inside. Hudson Nagy has chosen the outside. They'll come through the box, and green flag is out just past the halfway point in this Ontario Legends Series feature event. Huff goes to the lead. Traves works for second. And Drimmy on the back straightaway backs up that outside line. The battle is now for third. Give it to Langell. Nagy fighting on the outside of Nick Ledson. Ledson takes that little peek to the inside. Top 3 in a train. Battle for position number 4 continues on down the back straightaway with Ledson holding on to that spot. He'll take it away, and now Nagy falls into line in 5th.
Paul Pierre, Cole McFadden, and the 75 of Dawson Drimmy. Then it's the 3 of Shane Pollock and Adam Cuthbertson, your top 10.
All it took was 1 small little slip for Braden Langell to get by the 60 of Parker Traves, and now Traves is chasing the 57 of Braden Langell, trying to set him up down the back straightaway. Flashes that bumper to the inside. Langell drives it in deep. Up the hill he goes and maintains position number 2 for at least the time being. Now we'll see if Ledson has anything for these top 3. It took him 25 laps to get up to the top 4, but now he's got to chase them down. Question is, can he make it happen in these final 14, 13 laps in this 40-lap feature?
Little battle, Paul Pierre, who's back in 6th. He's got a lot of competition behind him. 75 of Dawson Drimmy, no slouch here. Cole McFadden, all putting the pressure on.
Considering how much thrashing they did on Perrick's car yesterday, it's good to see him run where he is right now, but he's got a handful with Drimmy right in behind him and McFadden working back from the back of the field as the 08 car will go 1 more lap down here. Look at the run that Langell gets at a corner number 2. The 7, I think, almost lit out of the throttle there a little bit to allow that 08 car to get to the inside, and now Lange looking at the 7 of Huff for the lead. As laps click down, 10 laps remaining, and now the cat and mouse game back on between those 2 Canadian Legend car entries. And Nick Ledson closing in on Parker Traves to try to take this one away and get a podium run out of the Autumn Colors Classic.
What an upset this would be if Langell pulls off a win here at Peterborough Speedway for the Autumn Colors in a brand new car. This is not a car he has raced at any feature race anywhere.
First time he saw it was Friday morning during practice, and he only had 2 practices or 3 practices to get really acclimated with that Kevin Foisey race car. We know it's quick, but when you step behind the wheel and you're a new driver, oh, Sherman around.
Joe Sherman goes around in the infield. And that will bring out the caution.
It's a tough break for the 78 as he goes around and will slow the field up with 7 laps remaining. The 7 of Huff going to lead this field to green. 7 laps remaining in this Ontario Legend Series feature. Green flag is back out. Great start for the top 2, and Ledson holding his own to the outside.
Oh, trouble. 75 up into the wall, turn number 1. That is going to bring out the caution.
Tough break for Drimmy, who's run really strong here this afternoon. In and around the top 5, but it doesn't look like the day is going to end there as he will get that car rolling again. Looked like it just might have hit on that back corner. He might be okay, but I'm sure he'll visit his team in the hot pit. Ledson trying to bait the 7. Here they come, green flag back in the air. Good start. In behind, they're 2 and 3 wide, but the battle is going to be for P2. Give it to Langell. Ledson falls into line to 3rd. Traves trying to get to the back bumper of Ledson, but can't seem to get there. Pollock and Nagy trying to make something happen back there. Oh, little contact with Pierrick. Close quarter race, and they all know the checkered flag's coming here soon.
5 to go. A fistful of laps. Matt Huff, Langell still out in front. Then it's the 15 of Nick Ledson, Parker Traves, and the 3 of Shane Pollock.
Pollock's had a great weekend. If he can finish it off with a top 5 run, that would be solid for that team as Nagy moves by McFadden for position number 6. And the battle up in front. Does Langell or Ledson have anything for Matt Huff? As they work down the back straightaway, he's just got to be solid. Don't make a mistake and try to run this thing to victory lane.
Trouble down the back stretch. That's the 77 of Glenn Morris, and he has gone in pit side. Looks like he spun coming down the back stretch and put it in the pits.
2 laps remaining as the 7 of Huff holds on. Langell dove it in deep down into corner number 1, but could not make that move. Not close enough.
Oh, trouble.
One in the front.
Big trouble down the front stretch. That's the 89 of Anthony Einerson.
And he had some issues at the start of this race, and it looks like he's going to end.
It looked like he made contact to the outside wall coming out of 4, and some heavy damage to the front right side of that car.
Yeah, that's tore up. We're going to send the tow truck out. And good news is that the door is open. He is moving around in that race car. Langell looking to come from Nova Scotia to take the checkered flag away, but he's got some work to do. Pollock to the outside has had a great weekend so far. Looking to cap it off with the podium. Here they come. Green-white checker, the 7 of Huff. Going to lead them through the box. Green flag is in the air.
Oh, trouble. Big trouble down in turn number 1. Looks like Paul Pierrick got collected.
And after the weekend that he has had, it's a tough break for Pierrick as they worked and thrashed on that race car all day long yesterday, putting the rear end back into place after Friday night's heat race. And now it's not going to end the way that he wants to, as McNichol also tangled up with him down in corner number 2. And Charlie, we're going to do it all over again. Pace truck in the 7 of Huff, going to lead them into the box. Traves to the outside. Green flag back in the air. Green-white checker, 2 laps to go. Better start that time for Traves on the outside, but Langell hot on the bumper of the 7. Matt Huff trying to hold them off down the back straightaway. Ledson looks to the inside for P3. Little bumper tag through 3 and 4. They come to the white. Final lap in the Ontario Legend Series here on Autumn Colors Classic Weekend, and Huff has control down the back straightaway for the final time. The 57 of Langell looks on, but that's about all it is. Matt Huff, impressive performance with the checkered flag. Langell and Ledson, your top three.
Parker Traves and the 17 of Hudson Nagy tying up your top five. An impressive run. Matt Huff shows why this guy is a champion.
It's the Canadian Legend Cars number 7 pulling it in to victory lane, a winner here on Autumn Colors Classic weekend. Getting congratulations from Kevin Foisey and the team. His father in the window, congratulating the winner. He's out of the car, I can hear you now, Matt Huff. He gets the trophy, the checkered flag. We'll get him to step over here and grab a couple of words with our winner. Matt, it's been a while since we've been able to do this. Get the hat adjusted. You and Parker, for most of this race, back and forth. Talk about battle with your teammate, per se, back there in the pit area for this huge win here today.
Well, Parker, man, he's a great competition. He's been working hard for years now, and this year he's really come out, and he's put a couple dominating races together and really challenged me. And you know what? It only makes me better, so I'm happy to have him as a teammate and everything else. And you know what? I'm stoked that I get to finally see Tim Perry again. It's been a long time since, like, pretty much almost Vegas or even there, down for the rope. But I'm super happy to be here. Thanks, Dave. You know, Canadian Legend Cars for, you know, doing this all for me. Big opportunity, as well as Stillworks. My dad, my mom, my wife for taking care of the kids for 3 days. PD day, I've been gone. I got to work Monday, so unfortunately she's all days. But it was awesome having Braden down here, and Nick Letson always gives me a hard run, so you know what? I can't be happier today.
Autumn Colors Classic. You mentioned these big races, but how big is this one here at home?
This one's pretty special for Peterborough Speedway. It's the biggest one of the year for them, and you know what? We're glad to be a part of it, and I'm happy to be able to take another one home.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much, guys. Thanks.
That's Huff, your winner. Hi, Braden.
Hey, we're long, but
talk about this race, because I know your teammates battled up there for the win. You kind of hung out in third. What else did you need today?
just a little tighter, a little more drive. We were just as good as him, but gave it up there at the start. First lap start here. First time I've ever seen the place was Friday. So, you know, it's kind of a little disappointed for second, but that just shows how much I care about the sport.
26-hour drive home?
Yeah, we'll be home tomorrow, probably afternoon or somewhat, and get up and go to work Tuesday.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's Braden Ledson over here. Nick Ledson. That looked like fun coming from the back of the field. What did it feel like from inside the race car?
It's a lot tougher when you show up and you haven't been in the car in over a month, and then your first lap in, it's lap one of the main here at Autumn Colors. So definitely a feeling out process for a while there, and once we got up towards the front, you know it's always going to be difficult, the caliber of talent we have showing up here. You got the top three here, three of the top drivers in all of Canada, arguably all of North America for Legend Cars. So yeah, it's tough. I don't think we had the car quite to get to the front, but definitely drove it hard and tried to get there.
Still gave it a run. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
That's Nick Ledson, ladies. Give it up for your top three in the Ontario Legend Series presented by Trailers Plus.
Queenston Chevrolet Camaro pace car hits pit road. It's time for the hot rods to come to life off of turn number 4. Green flag in the air. Hahn had a bit of a wiggle there as he got on the loud pedal and shot up the hill. He's going to lose some ground. And trouble for Amanda Balson. She's going to hit pit road. That car, they've been battling engine issues on that 16 machine. She ducks out of line and will head down pit road to the attention of the crew. Out front, Jagerman master that. He slips forward. Gran Torino out in front, pulling away. Thompson runs in the second spot, running the high groove of the racetrack. That's leaving the bottom open for Steve Buck. Usually the bottom is the preferred groove of the racetrack, but Thompson making the high side work. So far, in that Elmira Harvey Swiss Chalet 00 machine. The hood off on the 16 of Balson on pit road. The team looking under the hood. And here comes Book to second now to the inside of Thompson. Tyler Hahn trying to follow him through the NRS brake pads. Number 2 machine. Thompson tried to slam the door shut, but Hahn was already there. Nick Clark looking to take advantage of that number 86 machine. He'll go to the inside, down in turns 3 and 4. Thompson still up on the high side. Move Nick Clark up to the 4th spot. 47 of Herb Walters working his way through the field after starting at the rear, filling in for Stompin' Tom Walters. And here comes Tyler Hahn now, the inside of Steve Book. Book can let him go, knows what he needs to do, knows he just needs to follow Hahn. Keep Hahn in sight and you can clinch the championship. You don't have to win it. Jagger McMaster doing a great job out in front. That big Ford-powered Ford Gran Torino. So he slips forward. ATEL Communications number 74 machine has checked out, and soon he'll come up on lap traffic at the tail of the field as we close in on the lap 10 mark. Herb Walters picks off another one going past John Lavella, marching his way through the field. Walters with 50 laps already under his belt, running the Queenston Chevrolet Modified Tour race a little early on in his own car. Now subbing for cousin Stompin' Tom to the inside of Dave Waite down the back straightaway. Goes the check casher. Now looking at the inside of Jamie Adams. Oh, Herb Walters getting a little aggressive, and around goes Jamie Adams. We'll see. She's able to keep that car going straight. Everyone checks up, but everyone going to keep going. No caution needed. Herb Walters now with the fender damage on the right front of that 47 machine. Herb Walters got a little aggressive there, trying to make the move. Thought he had to run to the inside. That's the difference with these versus a normal stock car. These are a lot bigger. The body styles are a lot different. The gentleman's rule is just a little bit different depending on the car. You got that big Ford Lancia out there at Hopkins. That thing's about a mile long. How far up do you have to be before you're really on the inside of them and before they know you're there? Hahn's starting to close the gap now to Jagger McMaster. Just a little over a second and a half contact between the lap car. Gary Hanna, he got into the 2 of Hahn there as they worked through 1 and 2. That's going to allow you McMaster to pull away. Everyone had to check up for Hahn as he was sideways off at 2 and down the back straightaway. Almost a 2-second advantage now for Jagger McMaster, but he's going to have to be careful. He's closing in on the back of the field, and some cars racing side by side at the moment. Laps winding away here. We close in on the halfway point. It'll be 15 laps complete at the line for McMaster. He goes to the outside of Bill Clark that time by. The gap back down to a second and a half. Line closing rapidly as they work through lap traffic. That time down to a second. Nick Clark in the back of Bill Clark. They got hooked together, father and son battling it out. And we got trouble now. Paul Boogesberger Sr. off the pace in the 8 machine up on the high side of the racetrack. And oil down on the racetrack. That's what's going on there. So it looks like the motor might have went south on the 21 of Paul Boogesberger Sr. Left a trail of oil there. Trevor Thompson spun around. He was up in the outside retaining wall. I think Nick Clark, I don't know if he got the oil and got into the wall or maybe had a flat tire from the contact with Bill Clark down the back straightaway. Thompson tried to move away from the scene. Herb Walters had the wheels locked up on that car and slid up to the outside retaining wall. Got off the brakes, was able to get that car back down the racetrack. So apparently I'm getting reports trackside a drive shaft possibly came out of the 8 machine, and I'm going to guess what would be transmission fluid coming out of that 8 onto the racetrack. So Queenston Chevrolet Camaro pace car hits pit road once again. Jagger McMaster out in front of that 74 machine, down the bottom. Tyler Hahn up on the outside. Hahn going to slide in line into second ahead of Steve Book behind McMaster. Trevor Thompson got his spot back after spinning in the fluid. So he's back inside the top 5. He's got Dave Waite to his inside now in that 55 machine, rolling the bottom side of the racetrack. McMaster out in front, nice and smooth so far. Hahn trying to close the gap. Once again, he had started closing the distance before the caution came out. Hahn a little bit faster that last time by, but not enough to make a difference. and get to the rear bumper of McMaster in that big old Ford Gran Torino. Steve Book, your points leader, runs in the third spot. If we finish where they are right now, he will clinch the championship in that number 47 machine.
And Walters is all over the place on that bumper of that 04 wagon. He's trying to get around everybody because he knows he's got to go.
Herbie Walters flying through the field, the check casher in that 47 machine, up on the high side of the racetrack. The substitute for Stompin' Tom, trying to march his way back through the field to crack the top 5 before pitting under that caution with the fender damage. Look to the outside of Bill Clark. Clark going to go way up the racetrack as he looks to the outside of Gary Hanna and that Plymouth Satellite, the 03 machine. That's where Herb Walters going to go this time down to 1 and 2. Walters, the former Chase for the Colors winner here in the Super Stock division, march his way through the field. No change in the running order in the top 3. Hahn, though, looking high, looking low, trying to find a way by Jaeger McMaster and that he slips forward, number 74 machine. Hahn, the NRS brake pads, Oshweekon Speedway Racehorse, number 2 machine, getting racy. He says this might be his last race with the Hot Rod Series. Wants to go out on top with an Autumn Colors Classic win. Can he do it? Steve Book running right behind him, and that's Studebaker Hawk trying to make it happen.
I think Hahn's going to show a little patience here because he knows he's got some racing to do, save his tires. He's done this same kind of story, same at Sunset, booked the same way. They know Robert's fast, but he can burn up his tires being the leader, trying to make the pace go for him, but he's being pushed by the 2 fastest cars on the track.
Just past the halfway point, McMaster still able to hold on to it. Just a slim margin at the front of the field. Pulls away a little down the back straightaway that time. Hahn now on the defense is Steve Book looking to the inside. Able to keep Book at bay that time off of Ford down the front straightaway.
That 74 is pushing some incredible lap times at 15.150, 4/10 faster than his previous lap. They're starting to motor, folks.
Fastest car on the track last time by was the 47W of Herb Walters, down in the 15 flat range, trying to march his way through the field, almost a half track behind your leaders, working his way past cars he's already passed. He'll go to the inside of Hopkins, down the back straightaway. That battle just inside the top 10.
Herb is wasting no time in that duster.
And this is where Walters got the damage. He came up with a 99 Jamie Adams. Jeremy McLean having a hard time passing the Oldsmobile Cutlass of Adams. She'll move up the racetrack this time in 3 and 4. That'll open the door for Jeremy McLean down low. Although Adams tries to come back down the racetrack and slam the door shut on J-Mac Jeremy McLean. Walters going to try a 2-for-1 deal. Here he goes down the back straightaway to the inside of McLean, down into turn number 3. McLean pinches him down into the grass. Walters down over the curb, doing his best to stay off of the 88 of McLean. McLean trying to take that lane away down into the corner with the speedy dry there. Very hard to keep that car down in the bottom of the racetrack. Out front, McMaster pulling away from the 2 of Hahn as they work their way through lap traffic. 5 car length advantage for Jaeger McMaster in that he slips forward on an automotive number 74 machine. Jaeger McMaster. Jaeger McMaster. Laps winding down here at the front of the field. They'll come to 5 to go at the line this time by for Jaeger McMaster, looking for his first career Hot Rod Series win. Hahn runs in second. Book in third. That'll clinch the championship for the Refractory Remover Services 1960 Studebaker Hawk. Herb Walters running the 6th spot, trying to close in on Dave Waite and Trevor Thompson. That's the battle for 5th and 4th on the racetrack. They work their way past Gary Hanna, the lap car. Dave Waite way up the racetrack and all that speedy dry. He's going to lose the position. Walters now into the 5th spot, looking to get past Trevor Thompson for the 4th spot. A caution could make it interesting for the check catcher, Herb Walters, but McMaster doesn't want to see it. He'll come to 2 to go at the line, this time by 38 laps now complete of the 40-lap distance. Trouble for Bill Clark. He got up in the wall, way up in the marbles there, that time to 3 and 4. White flag in the air for Jagger McMaster, looking to bring it home. Pass straightaway advantage over Tyler Hahn. Hahn with a bumper full of Steve Book. Book going to clinch the championship as they run right now. Final time off before checkered flag in the air. McMaster with the win. Hahn for second. Book third will clinch the championship. Fourth is going to go to the check casher, Herb Walters, and Trevor Thompson will round out the top 5.
Good job. Come on up front. Give it up for your hot rod winner for the 28th annual Autumn Colors Classic, Jagger McMaster. Jagger, that was a hell of a race. Obviously, you had a lot of competition right off the bat. You knew this was going to be a long race. End of the year, you knew there was a championship on the line for Book as well. Thoughts as the race started?
We're starting pole. I knew we had Bolson, Bookie, and Hahn behind us, and it was going to be a lot of pressure. Unfortunately for Bolson, again, they had terrible luck, but she was probably the best car here tonight. Just great time. I knew I was on pole, so I just had to go. We had some cautions there, but man, it was awesome. It was awesome.
I know a lot of people obviously helped you get here. Who'd you like to thank?
ATEL, Caledonia Auto Supply, Arnott Automotive, the Hot Rod Series for putting on a great show for everybody, Tesla Ford, Crosswood Creations, Dave Yen Real Estate, our buddy Dave Prokop, Checker Flag, man, my dad, Bruschetta, Uncle Drew, Marty, Dougie. There's a bunch of people not here right now that helped us, and that one was for Donnie and Graydon.
Congrats, man. Give it up for Jagger McMaster. Come on over here, Tyler. Man, you had your hands full from the get-go and you didn't know what was going to go on. You were starting mid-pack. You knew you had to go fairly early because otherwise you knew they were going to get away from you, especially with that big built Ford. What was your plan and how did you make it happen to get second?
Just plan is to drive clean and smooth as possible. The only way we're going to win this championship is if Steve had a wreck or something at the start of the race. But, there's nobody else I'd rather give this championship up to than Steve. It is what it is. We had a good time, so.
Yeah, you know what? It was a lot of fun watching today, though. You had patience in your heats, in your practice. You were setting it up. You knew you had some technical issues. You wanted to fix them. But definitely a lot of people helped you get in here, too. Who would you like to thank?
First of all, I'd like to thank my crew. If it wasn't for all my supporters and crew, we wouldn't be here. We're going to thank NRS Brakes, Quick Wick, Epic, HRF, Sable Falls, Grisdale's, American Racer, Georgia Print and Copy, Queenston, Rhubarb Media, Simcoe Gases, Tire Depot, Push and Ink Tattoos, OSR, HMCW. There's just, and all my guys, and all my fans and everybody coming up to me this weekend wondering what's in store for us next year. We're not sure yet, but just watch social media, I guess.
You know what? I wouldn't count Tyler Hahn out from racing next year. As much as the rumors are going around, this might be his last season. That doesn't mean he's going to stop racing. It just means it might be finished with Hot Rod. Give it up for your second place finisher, Tyler Hahn! Well, third place finisher, but I do believe the Oscar Hot Rod champion for 2021, Steve Buck! Obviously you had a lot of competition up front. You knew you had to be patient to win the championship at the same time, not burn your stuff up early. But obviously, there's no doubt you probably want to win this thing.
Well, it's a great prestigious race to win. The Peterborough fans are awesome. It's look at the place. It's packed. It's a really fun track to run at. Not much of a second lane right now, but you got to bide your time. Luckily I started on the inside, and then Tyler got to me. He's a great competitor, and I give him the finger out the side there to go up the inside, have the position. I thought if we have a restart, I'm going to take third instead of being on the outside trying to battle him for second and let him get away. Let them two race it out, and maybe I'll have a chance at both of them.
Yeah, you know what? Sometimes that kind of gamble works here, especially like you said, with an outside groove that's questionable. But man, you still had a hell of a car, as you have had all season for 2021. Who would you like to thank for helping you get here for all this entire season and your championship?
Well, obviously I like to thank all my sponsors, but my crew is awesome. My family, my dad, my mom, they my biggest supporters. My kids, they give me lots of time to work on the stuff. I'd like to thank Oscar for putting out a great series for us. It's just a blast to run these cars around, and they give us a good rule package, and obviously we've got 3 different chassis here, and we're 1, 2, 3, and we're running nose to tail, and there's 9 or 10 cars can win it on any night. So it's a great series, and everybody's really helpful. Any parts you need, they're all there. Everybody wants to work on everybody's car, and congratulations. And I've had a lot of, way to go, and hope you do it today. Congratulations to Tyler. 3 in a row was awesome, and I'm glad it was me that was able to take it, because the series is only getting stronger as we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for your Oscar Hot Rod champion and 20th annual Autumn Colors champion winner, Steve Buck. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my honor to let Paulo Castor Foster and family give those most famous words in motorsport.
Gentlemen, start your engines!
The life on the front straightaway, 167 laps ahead of these competitors. Many of them looking for another Autumn Colors Classic crown. Some of them looking for the first time. 10 laps on the line per lap, courtesy of Custom Mobile Wash. So $1,670 up for grabs here for lap leaders. Every lap you lead pays you $10 extra. Down the back straightaway, pace truck going to peel off. Zardo on the inside, Horner on the outside, looking for the green flag off of turn number 4. Zardo gets on the loud pedal a little bit early. See if we'll let that one go. Horner slides back on the outside already. Remember, $10 a lap, courtesy of Custom Mobile Wash. Zardo going to stay down on the low side of the racetrack. See if he can pick up an extra $10. Dan McCaddy up to the second spot. Down the bottom side of the racetrack. $10 to Billy Z3 Zardo for out in front. We got trouble already. Looks like Tim Kirby around. And the 06 to Kyle Woods around. Woods had trouble in practice, only got about 8 laps of practice on Friday before time trials this afternoon. Trying to get a feel for the Peterborough Speedway, and unfortunately, it'll be the first caution of the afternoon. If they have to come back down pit road, green flag in the air once again. Better start for Horner this time on the outside. He'll jump to the top spot. Zardo down on the low side. Now he's got to deal with Ryan Kimball. Kimball up to the high side. This time it does involve the 10 of Kirby and the 06 of Woods again. So the 10 and the 06 once again back to back, getting involved together to draw the second caution. So the first restart it was Zardo, the second time it was Horner. See what happens this time if Zardo can plan it out and get the fire going a little bit sooner. There he is, picks up the pace. That limited late model, 602 engine versus 604. Not going to quite wind up just as fast. Side by side through 1 and 2. And around goes the 4 of Connor James, and we stack them up. Mercer drives the infield in the 81 machine. So that started with the 72 of Powell and the 4 of Connor James. Looks like a right front flat for Billy Zardo, so he might have made contact with Horner and cut that right front tire. He's slow on the racetrack.
All the way down.
And Horner's up against the wall. I was looking at the cars down the back straightaway, so those two must have made contact racing down into turn number 4. Horner's nose up against the outside retaining wall, and Zardo's got a right front flat. There goes your front row. And again, I still don't think we took a lap. So again, it'll be a complete restart. Now we're going to miss our front row. Mercer coming down pit road to the attention of the crew after his run through the infield. Probably want to make sure that front valence is good, make sure there's no grass on the grill, not going to have any overheating issues.
We might start counting cautions before we actually get a lap in.
And Will's in the 32 machine in trouble on the back straightaway. Heavy front end damage on that car. He's going to go off in the business end of the Peterborough Speedway tow truck.
He strikes into the infield, ready for the Great Canadian RV green flag. Oh, McKay takes off, leaving Kimball hanging to dry into 1. It's McCaddy, followed by J.R. Fitzpatrick, then Kimball.
Sean
Chenoweth is making a big move on the outside.
And good news, 1 lap complete. 1 lap now on the scoreboard as the caution now comes out for the 79 of James Horner. He stops on the exit of pit road. So looks like they got that car going, but then it stalled again.
71, 41, 29, 89, 14, 09.
166 now remaining. We've got 1. We're there.
Great Canadian RV flag restart number 4. Top 6 McLean into turn 1. Door to door, JR and McCaddy go down the back straightaway 2 by 2, followed by Grossman and Chenoweth. That's right, Kimball.
Ching 20.
Fitzpatrick now slides in line to second. Flying Ryan Kimball runs it third, Chenoweth fourth. Everyone's starting to spread out, find their bearings here, start to put some laps on the board. These drivers know it's a long race. McCanny now, $30 in his pocket, courtesy of Custom Mobile Watch. Fitzpatrick runs in second. Fitzpatrick knows the deep ends of the water, been on the APC Series. 100 laps all year long. The former CASCAR National Series champion runs in the second spot. Grant Graham, the highest running limited late model, runs in the 5th spot. Right now, Kent Noon in 6th. Billy Zardo trying to work his way forward after that flat tire. Brian Mercer from the tail of the field has cracked the top 10 now on that 81 machine. The fine flooring ride trying to work its way forward. Try to follow the big ticket, Danny Benedict. Benedict with those shifter problems had to come down pit road, get the car jammed into gear, and get rolling once again. He's now working to the inside of James Townsend. The Argos Automotive Zimmer 52 machine up the racetrack. That's going to open the door for Benedict. Mercer going to try to follow him through. Here comes the silverback of the 81 machine to the bottom side of the racetrack. He'll slide in line behind Benedict, and here comes Connor James. Townsend now going to get down to the bottom side of the racetrack and stop the bleeding. He's got Billy C3 Zardo trying to close in on him. Walker going to go lap down the 04 machine to Dan McCaddy. J.R. Fitzpatrick seems to have picked up the wick just a little bit, trying to close in on the 71 machine.
Mercer, no doubt, is the fastest car on the track. He is making more moves than anyone else. And they're basically paired up. McCaddy and JR, Kimball and Chenoweth. Mercer's just flying. He's already up to 8th.
As your leaders work lap traffic, McCaddy down the back straightaway. He'll come up on Kyle Woods now in the 06 machine. Fitzpatrick going to run the bottom and try to get back to the rear bumper of the J.K. Stewart Motors number 71 machine. Nice and smooth in front of the field for Dan McCaddy, the multi-time Auto Colors Classic champion. Trying to hold off J.R. Fitzpatrick in the early going on this one. Past the 10 lap mark, working our way towards
trouble spin.
Yeah, and trouble for Kyle Woods around. Woods going to keep it going, no caution needed. Might have had a little help there from one of the lead lap cars trying to work their way around the 06 machine.
There was some space between him and the 29 of Flying Ryan Kimball. I didn't see contact. I think he just went around on his own.
Trying to hold the bottom, car gets a little bit tight, shoves up the hill, you put a little more wheel in it, around comes the back end. That might have what happened to Woods there, but able to keep it going and no caution needed. If it was, that would have been the third strike for Woods, and he'd been out of this one early on in the going. Tyler Junkin now going a lap down the Cadillac, down the bottom side of the racetrack. A little bit of breathing room for McCaddy at the front of the field. 2 car length advantage over the 41, and caution is out as around goes Bobby Kuzno. Kuzno around up in turn numbers 1 and 2. The 42 machine comes to rest on the bottom side of the racetrack, able to get that car moving again. But he'll have to go tail end of the longest line. Junkin going to get the Lucky Dog Award. He'll go back on the lead lap. Lights extinguished on the turn-off signals pace truck. They'll come to the green flag, this time by McCaddy, again the inside, Fitzpatrick the outside. Kimball and Chenoweth make up row number 2. They come to the restart zone off of turn number 4. They pick up the pace, green flag, back in the air. A little bit of contact between your front two as they race down the front straightaway. Fitzpatrick trying to make it go from the outside. McCaddy down on the bottom. They drag race down the back straightaway into turn number 3. McCaddy down on the bottom with the advantage. Fitzpatrick going to slide in line back to second. Fitzpatrick now looking to the inside of McCaddy down the back straightaway. Doesn't have enough of a run. McCaddy moves up the hill through 3 and 4. Little sideways off of 4 down the front straightaway. Fitzpatrick not able to stick the nose in quite yet. McCaddy holding his own on the high side of the racetrack. They should be able to get back down the bottom, this time into turn number 3. Fitzpatrick applying the pressure. Cars coming through the field. Brant Graham up on the high side. The limited late model getting past contact now. Zardo and Noon. Zardo going to go for a slide through the infield.
Wayne Zardo down on the infield.
Billy Z3 Zardo with the slide through the infield. The 46 machine, that will draw the caution once again. I believe another right front flat for the 46. After contact with the 09 and Noon.
Interesting, the 54 of Danny Benedict has been charging from well back in the field, now up into the top 5.
So Benedict, a regular of the APC series and was running at Sunset with the Pro Late Model Division, not used to running on these Hoosier tires. So a lot of teams that came in only had American racers sitting in their, their tire inventory. Benedict went the opposite way. Everybody else brought tires, bought brand new tires for practice. Benedict went over to Mechanics shop. What do you got? I got some 350 lap old tires you're more than welcome to. He bolted those on for practice, so he knows what the car will do in the long run now with those tires once the car starts to fade. So
that's an interesting, that's quite a tactic. That's quite a strategy to do that.
He also might have thrown in, he was saving some money in doing it, but I think it was a sound strategy, Green flag back in the air off at turn number 4, down the front straightaway. Better restart this time for McCaddy. Able to clear Fitzpatrick down the back straightaway. Fitzpatrick going to slide in line before Kimball fills the gap. Chenoweth going to do the same. Slide in line behind Kimball in the 29 machine. Just ahead of the 54, Danny Benedict. Again, Brant Graham trapped up on the high side for the restart. Trying to slide in line, everyone getting single file. Connor James back in the top 10 after falling outside with that spin on lap number 1.
Brant Graham falling all the way back to 11th, well out of the top 10.
And that's just, running a limited late model package, just an underpowered motor. You're running a 602 versus a 604. You give up a little on the straightaways, and again through the ends, the Pro Late models will have coil overs, things like that, where it's conventional style setup on a limited late model. The lap winding down, working through here. It's a long way to go. I shouldn't say winding down. 167 laps, a long way to go. Everyone getting strung out. A little bit of breathing room for McCaddy over Fitzpatrick. That time at the line, McCaddy's a little faster. But they'll come up on lap traffic fast. Woods and Walker at the back of the field. The 06 and the 04 machine.
Danny Benedict Woods actually turning the fastest lap at 14.085. Danny Benedict making some ground up on the leaders.
Benedict doing what he has to do. Had to go down pit road, gave up that track position with the shifter linkage issues, got the car jammed into third gear, and carried on. Down the back straightaway, Kyle Woods in the way of your leader in that 06 machine.
Oh,
not
trouble.
Getting to the bottom.
Trouble down turn number 2.
Kyle in trouble. Kyle Woods now getting to the bottom of the racetrack, getting out of the way of your leaders. Now causing trouble. Here comes flying Ryan Kimball. Kimball down the back straightaway. He's going to make it 3 wide. Him and Fitzpatrick Flip the lap. Oh, bounds out, flying Ryan Kimball. And Wood's going to take the bumper cover off the rear of the 29 machine for good measure.
Absolutely amazing driving by everyone trying to avoid that spin. Kimball definitely took a risk going in real deep on the outside. Paid the price a little bit, but it looks like he'll be made come back here for sure with lots of laps left. Should not be allowed to do that.
So the Horner team pushed James Horner all the way to the exit of pit road right at the edge of the racing surface, and that will draw the caution. So that is the second time that has happened for James Horner. So that is 2 strikes now for James Horner. The next time Horner draws the caution, his scoring card will be pulled. That is twice now. The team has pushed him to the edge of pit road, right at the edge of the racetrack, and drawn the caution. Pace truck hits pit road once again. McCaddy on the inside, Fitzpatrick the outside. Green flag in the air, back racing with the Pro Late Mulch in Electric City 167.
Top 6 look pretty strong there. That number 4 of Connor James is looking pretty good.
James slides in line just ahead of Kent Noon. Here comes Brian Mercer looking to the inside of Danny Benedict. Benedict up on the outside, a little bit of contact. Mercer's got some right front damage after getting into Benedict, that time down the front straightaway. Connor James looking to take advantage, but Benedict going to be able to slide in line back in the 5th position. That'll put Mercer up to 4th, just behind the 89C of Sean Chenoweth.
Chenoweth looks pretty comfortable sitting there in 3rd, but he shouldn't get too comfortable with the 81 of Brian Mercer, who knows his place inside and out, as does Sean. Sean has won the Pro Late race here at the Autumn Colors Classic, but no guarantees that Brian's going to be not trying to make a pass fairly soon.
Flying Ryan Kimball making a charge from the back of the pack after going in for that caution, now up to 9th spot.
And Powell drives it deep into 3 and 4 and just drives right in to Jamestown in the 52 machine and send Townsend up into the outside wall. Townsend gave lots of room, moved up the racetrack, gave the lane to Powell. Powell came up right in the middle of 3 and 4 and sent the 52 car around Townsend, a regular here at the Peterborough Speedway in the Super Stock division, making his first career Pro Late model start.
He strikes in the infield. The Great Canadian RV flag is out. Clean start for the top 3. Mercer was a little slow on that restart. Don't know if he spun the tires or not. But that means it's McCaddy followed by J.R. Fitzpatrick, then Chenoweth, Benedict. Connor James is looking on the inside of Brian Mercer. That creates a problem for Brian because it's going to mean he's going to be hung out to dry. Brian knows the outside really well here. Can he get down to the bottom? Not sure if he can, but he'll try to make it work this time just to save his position. So far, McCaddy's making a really good run. JR's got nothing for him yet. Benedict's right behind Chenoweth. He can make a move anytime, but I think he's going to be comfortable to try it out for a little bit. And as Brendan said earlier, get some rhythm to them.
Flying Ryan Kimball working his way through the field. He just got past Kent Noon. He'll now set his sights on the silverback Brian Mercer in that Science Flooring number 81 machine. Benedict on the move, taking a look to the inside of Sean Chenoweth. Down the front straightaway. Fun fact, that the 54 machine of Benedict, that is a former chassis of Sean Chenoweth. Back a few years ago, the Shaw Motorsports chassis, built for Chenoweth to run the APC Series with. Benedict got it reclipped over at Dan McCaddy's when the rules changed for the APC Series and shortened up the wheelbase. So a Shaw by Dan McCaddy is what the 54 car is, and Chenoweth's old race car is now dogging him all over the rear bumper cover, that 89C machine, as we work our way towards the 167 lap goal. Halfway fuel break will come at some point in time. These drivers will be allowed to make adjustments at that point in time.
Oh, a big spin by Bobby Kuzno in turn 1. Will everyone be able to avoid him? So far, the answer is yes, as Kuzno gets it off the track.
Steve Powell really had to dodge him there as he got down in the corner. Kuzno came back down the racetrack. Good thing Powell went high. Green flag back in the air off of turn number 4. McCaddy with the advantage to come down the front straightaway into turn number 1. Fitzpatrick to the outside. Going to try to hang up there. Chenoweth's going to try to fill the spot. Fitzpatrick sees him coming, slides back in line behind McCaddy. Field gets nose to tail through the top 6 or 7 cars. That is side by side with Brant Graham and Kent New.
Flying Ryan Kimball, he's knocking on the back door of the top 5. He's made that climb all the way from the back of the pack.
Yeah, he definitely got a better restart than Brian Mercer, and he took advantage of it. Got in front of Brian and dived down to the bottom. Mercer again had a poor restart.
McCaddy still picking up that custom mobile lap leader. He's led every lap so far. Closing in on almost $400 in his pocket as we close in on lap number 40.
JR is keeping him honest because McCaddy definitely ripped off a fast time of 14.103 last time by. And now he's up to a 1.70, so definitely those tires are getting eaten up one way or another as Tyler Junkin comes to the infield.
I spoke with McCaddy earlier in the weekend. Wasn't too happy with the car. They were trying to experiment with some things they don't normally do. So I don't know if they've gone back to the baseline or just kept pushing forward and found that sweet spot. But now starting to drive away at the front of the field is Dan McCaddy. Almost a tenth a lap faster. We'll see what they are at the line this time by of what he is. So he comes across line 14.163. He is a tenth of a second quicker than J.R. Fitzpatrick on the laps. Working his way through lap traffic. Sean Walker going a lap down now. Fitzpatrick starting to pressure. Second, third, and fourth run nose to tail as they come past lap traffic. And we got Steve Powell around the 72 car. So that would be 2 strikes. 2 strikes for Powell now. Walker going to get the lucky dog in the 04, so he'll go back on the lead lap.
Peterborough pace truck down to the infield. Going to come around for the Great Canadian Derby. Green flag. Dan McCaddy and J.R. Fitzpatrick leading them door to door all the way around 1 and 2.
McCaddy with the advantage down the back straight away. Fitzpatrick again going to slide in line by the time they hit turn number 3. Top 6, top 7 cars have sorted themselves out and now run nose to tail. All pro late models through the top 7 positions. That is Brant Graham, the first of the late model on the 14 machine, running just ahead of Kent Noon. McCaddy trying to pull away from Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick all over the rear bumper cover. Dan McCaddy. Those two matching lap times very closely. Last time by, McCaddy had the advantage before the caution. Had himself about a 3-car length advantage. Different lines getting to turn number 3. McCaddy down to the bottom, running a little bit of a defensive line. Fitzpatrick taking that wide sweeping entrance, trying to get the run off. And now you see McCaddy start to pull away once again from the 41 of J.R. Fitzpatrick.
McCaddy's been very consistent with his lap times all night, running between a 14.089 to a 14.2.
Tyler Junkin rejoins the race at the Kirk Norris District and Insurance 41 machine. Back out on the track. He'll filter back in line.
Brian Mercer's gone around Connor James, but Connor James says, no way, you're not getting away from me.
That battle just outside the top 5. Mercer comes away with the spot. The SSG Gloves 4 machine going to slide in line. He's got Brant Graham just behind him. Brant doing a good job with that limited late model. Trying to keep up with these pro cars. And in fact, doing better than a lot of these actual pro late models that are behind him. Kent Noon is a pro late model. Lead the 52 of James Townsend, Cousineau, and Powell, all pro late models. All behind the limited late models right now is Dardo and Brant Graham. Those guys up for the bonus. They'll come up on Junkin to put him a lap down. He'll get to the bottom side of the racetrack and let your leader Dan McCaddy go. The Douglas Automotive J.J. Stewart Motors 71 machine. Now over $500 in lap bonuses in his pocket.
At 41 of Tyler Junkins is one of Steve Foster's old limited lates. As he gets lapped by Kimball. I can tell you though that Tyler's just having a ball up there, learning a lot, getting a lot of seat time in that car. McCaddy, meanwhile, starting to drop off a little bit with a 14.252 last time by.
Connor James has gotten back around Brian Mercer and trying to track down the top 5.
41 of Tyler
back
Junkin.
on pit road. The 41 machine down pit road. Once again, going back to the attention of the crew. McAdie working to the outside of Woods in the 06 machine to put him a lap down. That allows J.R. Fitzpatrick to close up. Woods the last time. Again, he slides up the racetrack now, makes it hard for Chenoweth. The 06 machine not holding the bottom of the racetrack very well as these leaders work their way by. Everyone able to get clear of the 06 machine for now. I'm sure they'll come back around and have to deal with him again in another few laps. But the top 5 got clear of the 06 of Woods.
Tyler Junkin back out onto the track.
And we got Powell around just in front of your leaders. Dan McAdie has to check up. Sean Walker did a great job avoiding. He was the first one on the scene. McAdie got on the binders for getting in the back of Walker. J.R. Fitzpatrick had to coast down, and that will be the 3rd strike, and you're out for Steve Powell. The 72 machine will punch his 3 tickets and out on lap 58. His Autumn Colors Classic will come to an end.
Peterborough Speedway truck into the infield. Here we go. Great Canadian RV flags out. Dan McAdie gets a good jump on J.R. Fitzpatrick. He got pinched a little bit, if anything. Chenoweth drives to the in bottom. Won't let J.R. down to the bottom, but wait a minute. Here's J.R. getting a little more better acceleration than Chenoweth. He gets down into P2, no problem. Benedict's still on the outside of Kimball. He's still being out to right. Connor James is staying to the bottom. He's trying to put Danny behind him, and sure enough, it's going to work. There's Mercer ready to pounce as well.
Danny Benedict did no man's land up on the high side of the racetrack, trying to get to the bottom. Connor James has gone by, falling out of the top 5 now is Danny Benedict. Brian Mercer to the inside in the 81 machine, side by side for the 6th spot. Benedict trying to hold tough on the high side of the racetrack. Kent Noon looking to take advantage and shuffle Benedict back further. Benedict tried to slide down in line. Noon was there. See if he can get the run off down the back straightaway. Looks like he'll be able to do so and clear the 09 of Kent Noon. Benedict able to stop the bleeding and get to the bottom side of the racetrack and fall back in line. Now he's going to try to march his way forward, back past cars he's already passed a couple of times now, and just falling back, trapped on the outside on these restarts. Fitzpatrick got lucky on the restart. Chenoweth was waiting for it, but was not able to take advantage. JR with a great run up on the high side of the racetrack, and Powell around again. So Powell facing the wrong way, and that's most likely going to end his day. Yep, he'll pull it behind the wall, and that will end the day for the custom Overwatch number 72 machine of Steve Powell.
He's not even going to make an argument or wait for them to throw the flag. He's just, yep, that was, I don't get another mulligan.
They stopped and warned him, like, next time you do it, man. So green flag in the air once again.
JR does really well with that restart. Door to door, they come out of 2.
McAdie down the back straight away. Holding tough. Fitzpatrick slides into second. Fitzpatrick trying to stay with him now as they race down the front straightaway.
Kimball got a little squirrely there, pushing the outside there, all by himself.
Connor James runs in the 5th spot. Danny Benedict in 6th. Got back around Brian Mercer on the restart. Benedict now trying to crack the top 5 once again. McAdie starting to pull away from the 41 and J.R. Fitzpatrick at the front of the field. Chenoweth still runs in that 3rd spot. Our fast qualifier this afternoon, custom Overwatch qualifying. The 100 recreational racing 89 machine of Sean Chenoweth. Fitzpatrick trying to push the issue now with McAdie, knowing the halfway break is coming. They can make some adjustments, but they can't open the hood. They can make all the tire pressure adjustments they need. They can't change tires. They can load it with fuel. But whatever adjustments you can make that don't require you to jack it up or open the hood, they can do those. So you'll be interested to see what happens here. Tyler Junkin going to go a lap down to our leader, Dan McAdie. McAdie now with a 4-car length advantage over the 41 of J.R. Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick sliding back just a little to the 89C of Sean Chenoweth, the one of recreational racing. Quick fire starters 89C machine trying to close in on second place, J.R. Fitzpatrick, as they work around the lap car at Tyler Junkin. Flying Ryan Kimball in the 4th spot, under pressure from the 4 of Connor James, the SSG gloves. Number 4 machine now falling back a little. He's got Danny Benedict all over his rear bumper cover. 70 laps now in the books. And McCaddy has led all 70 of them from the drop of the green flag. After issues coming to the green flag for our front row of James Horner and Billy Z3 Zardo. And Zardo, I believe, off as well. I don't see him on the racing surface anymore, so Zardo has called it a day.
Zardo down in the pits, actually, you can see him.
So I believe at this point, Brant Graham, the only limited late model left running on the racetrack, will take home the bonus.
Yeah, Brant Graham, actually, I'm pretty impressed how well he's run tonight. Not far off the pace, running 14.5s all night and staying in the hunt of it. Considering where he's at with a limited late, that's really an impressive run. But up front, it's no surprise that Dan McCaddy's got about a 6-car lead on J.R. Fitzpatrick, followed by Ryan Kimball, Sean Chenoweth, Connor James, and sure enough, there's Danny Benedict.
Chenoweth falling back just a little. Kimball getting to that sweet spot, wants to restart 3rd, knows the competition caution is coming. Some of these drivers may be going to play the game and make sure they're on that inside road for the restart. Fitzpatrick now under pressure. Here comes flying Ryan Kimball in the 29 machine, closing in on your second place runner. Chenoweth now under pressure. He's got the 4 of Connor James right behind him and Danny Benedict. You wonder if maybe he's going to let one of them go to trying to get back to that inside start. Right now, when the caution would fall, he would be locked into the 4th position and restart on the outside. So Pacal Woods a lap down in the 06 machine. Connor James knocking on the back door now of the London Recreational Racing 89 machine. Trying to find a way by.
Ryan Kimball's putting a little pressure on J.R. Fitzpatrick. I don't know if this is the right move, but here comes Ryan. Oh, he just flew past J.R. Fitzpatrick. I think J.R. just let him go.
Fitzpatrick seen it coming. The spotter got on the radio. Let him have it. We're coming up to lap 80 now, which should be the competition caution. It was the fall between lap 60 and lap 80. So we have gone the distance. And the caution will come out this time for old school Dan McCaddy. Competition caution. The drivers will be able to pull down pit road. We will get them in running order first. We'll get them in running order first, and then we will pull them down pit road. Teams will have to work on them with where they are. They will not be able to pull into their pit pads.
Comes to the infield here. We're getting ready for the Canadian RV green flag. Here we go. Good clean start by the top 6. McCaddy in the inside of Kimball. Kimball hangs out there. JR is going to see if he can pitch him down. No, he'll stay in 3rd. Followed by Chenoweth, then Connor James, Danny Benedict, Ryan Mercer. They are flying, folks.
Everybody getting strong out, single file. What these drivers want to see where these adjustments they've made under that competition caution allow them to fall. Also going to put the weight back in the rear of the car with the fuel again. That'll change the handling a little bit and bring it back to where it was feeling earlier on in the run. And now we're going to have to account for that on these used tires now that they've got some cycles in them. McCaddy pulling away at the front of the field for the 29. Up flying Ryan Kimball. Fitzpatrick in the 41 runs in the 3rd spot. Chenoweth settles in line in 4th. The London Recreational Racing 89 machine. Down the back straightaway he goes. Connor James rounds out the top 5 right now. Everybody just setting a pace, just trying to get rolling once again. 14.2s right now. Tim McCaddy, the fastest car on the racetrack. Over a 10th quicker than everyone else. Chenoweth, the closest car, also down in that 14.2 range. Cross flags at the line. Halfway through this one. 84 laps in, 83 laps remain. McCaddy continuing to rack up the lap leader bonuses out in front in that number 71 machine. Now $850 richer is Dan McCaddy. Leading lap after lap at $10 a lap. Kimball sideways
look
off
a
the
little
four,
squirrely
close
coming out
the
of 4
gap.
there. He may be burning up that right rear faster than he anticipated.
You have to wonder, some of the adjustments, maybe they went just a little too far, and now you've kind of dialed yourself out, and you're burning your stuff up earlier than you planned. But McCaddy, nice and smooth at the front of the field. Still turning lap times down to the 14.2 range. McCaddy has not fallen off. Now to the outside of Walker, he gets sideways to 3 and 4. Kimball again sideways, putting the power down off of 4, trying to keep with McCaddy. Kimball knew he had the advantage to try to close the gap as they worked lap traffic, was unable to do so. Still about a half second advantage.
Chenoweth getting into Sean Walker, got a little sideways coming out of 4.
Chenoweth tangles with the lap car. Right front damage on the 04 Walker. The nose pushed in on the right front tire of the 04 machine. Tyler Junkin down the bottom side of the racetrack, almost gets down into the grass. Trying to stay out of the way of the leader. Chenoweth again struggling up on the high side of the racetrack, that 89 speed machine as they work past flat traffic. Connor James trying to take advantage, riding in the tire tracks of the 89C as they go down the back straightaway. Danny Benedict runs just outside the top 5. Brian Mercer behind him. Frank Graham trying to close in and pressure the 09 of Kent Noon. Okay.
I've seen this before where McCaddy slows down on purpose to see if Kimball will burn up his tires. And then next thing you know, McCaddy takes off again. We'll see what comes of it as we come through lap 95.
This time as they come across the strike, Kimball just a tick quicker than McCaddy. Starting to close the gap now. 0.2 of a second is the gap, or just about a half a car length advantage McCaddy has. Kimball's turned up the wick here in the long run. You have to wonder, it's been a while since Dan McCaddy's had these long distance races. It'll go all the way back to the Electric City 167 in 2019. Kimball looks to the inside as they come up on the lap car. McCaddy goes all the way up the hill, might have been a little contact there. Although McCaddy has had his struggles up on the high side of the racetrack. Kimball now to the top spot. He'll take over. So 96 laps. 95 laps for Led McCaddy, so $950 to him. And now the meter starts running for Flying Ryan Kimball at the front of the field.
And McCaddy definitely will have to change his tactics. He'll have to start saving his stuff, hoping for a caution, knowing that if he tries to chase down Kimball now, he's just going to burn his stuff up.
Fitzpatrick a little faster than McCaddy that last time by. Kimball now starting to close in on lap traffic. We'll keep an eye on the driving and scoring. McCaddy a little quicker than Kimball, trying to close the gap once again. Almost a half second advantage for Kimball at this point as they close in on lap traffic. 3 cars kind of battling. James Townsend up out of the groove. They're going to put another lap on the 04 of Walker. So Walker slower than these cars that are still battling on the lead lap, which is Cousineau and Townsend. Townsend now going to try to get to the bottom side of the racetrack. Now he's cleared the lap car of Walker and will now go a lap down himself. So Walker down 2 to the leaders. And Townsend down just 1. McCaddy now gets clear of Townsend. Fitzpatrick going to try to do the same. Cousineau pulls up in line in front of the 4 of Connor James. He'll go around the 04 of Walker, then get back down to the bottom side of the racetrack. Connor James running in the 4th spot. Right now, Chenoweth has been shuffled outside the top 5. The Benedict in the 54 runs in the 5th spot.
I almost wonder if Connor James, along with Benedict and Chenoweth and Mercer, Mercer gets tagged by Walker and then goes completely around this time. I don't know why Walker stayed in it, but he did. Caution flag will come out.
So the lap car of the 04 is Sean Walker, mixing it up with the lead lap car of the 81 of Brian Mercer.
I was just about to say that I'm wondering if the back 4, P4 through 8, we're trying to save the stuff waiting for a caution, but this is not the way we wanted it.
Pace truck going to hit pit road. Now to be flying Ryan Kimball, setting the pace. McCaddy trying to lead him off. The way McCaddy had been led off. Kimball on the loud pedal when they enter the restart zone. See what McCaddy does here. If he's able to slide in line down in front of flying Ryan Kimball. Kimball battles back down the bottom side of the racetrack. They drag race down the back straightaway. McCaddy up on the high side. The J.J. Stewart Motors number 71 machine gets loose up on the high side of the racetrack. He's going to try to slide in line just ahead of J.R. Fitzpatrick, right behind flying Ryan Kimball in that number 29 machine. Before Connor James trying to make the charge now, coming up with his Holdaway Motorsports teammate of J.R. Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick third, Connor James fourth, Danny Benedict rounding out the top 5. Chenoweth still runs in the 6th spot. Down the back straightaway they go. Kimball trying to pull away. McCaddy trying to stay right on the and we got the other Mercer on top of Bobby Cousineau on the back straightaway, and they'll stay that way. Red flag is out as those cars come to a rest up in the middle of 3 and 4. A pair of Peterborough Speedway regulars getting together.
It looked like the right front tire Mercer got to the left rear of Cousineau's car and jumped on top of it, and then away they went for a ride.
Yeah, 81 just climbed.
And we wait for the report from the scene over in turns 3 to see what the report is on the drivers. So here we go once again. See when Kimball starts to fire off. McCaddy trying to lead him off down the back straightaway. McCaddy was the one telling me under the competition caution he didn't like guys going so early. He's the one trying to make them pick up the pace before they get to the restart zone. There we go on the loud pedal in the middle of 3 and 4. McCaddy with a slight lead off down into turn number 1. Kimball down on the bottom trying to fire back. McCaddy up on the high side of the racetrack. Got to be careful he doesn't get up to those marbles. McCaddy struggled with the looseness up on the high side of the racetrack. Fitzpatrick there to take advantage. Here comes J.R. Fitzpatrick now. The Humberview Parts Dossier 41 machine sideways down the bottom side of the racetrack, trying to stay to the inside of old school Dan McCaddy. McCaddy trapped up on the high side of the racetrack. The J.J. Stewart Motors 71 machine trying to hang tough. He's got Danny Benedict now coming through as well. Here comes the epic race for Andy's Grill Shop. Badu Auto Parts 54 machine trying to work his way forward. McCaddy still up on the high side of the racetrack trying to make it work. Benedict now fills the spot in the 54 machine.
McCaddy's starting to get more looser the farther he stays on the outside. Connor James is on the inside of him. I think McCaddy's got no choice but to stick in 5th and see if he gets another caution, which is likely, with Kimball up front, followed by J.R. Fitzpatrick, Danny Benedict, Connor James, and finally Dan McCaddy. No surprise that Chenoweth is right there back in the hunt.
You go down pit road, all you had to do was restart in the 10th spot. See if those adjustments work. Chenoweth now trying to close in on the top 5, runs in the 6th spot. McCaddy slid all the way back to 5th before he's finally able to get down. Top 5 run nose to tail at the front of the field. I don't think this one's over yet. Fitzpatrick a little bit quicker that time by, so is Benedict and Connor James. Connor James the fastest car on the track last time by. Everybody chasing Ryan Kimball. The handle on that 29 car might be going away. He might have used it up a little too early. The SMG Motorsports Ryan driving for car owner Sean Grossman is the 29 of flying Ryan Kimball trying to bring home his 2nd Autumn Colors Classic crown. This time in the Pro Late models. Last time it was the Limited. J.R. Fitzpatrick, your defending champion of this race, runs in the 2nd spot trying to close in. This year he's out of the Holdaway Motorsports stable in that 41 machine. But he's got a mirror full. The 54 Danny Benedict, one little slip from the 41 of Fitzpatrick, trying to make his move for the lead, and Danny Benedict's going to be there. Benedict with the shifter linkage issues early on had to make the pit stop. There we go, the top 3 accordion up there as Kimball had to get on the binders coming off of 4s. That car stepped out. Fitzpatrick checked up, Benedict in the back of him, and Connor James into the back of Benedict that last time coming off of 2. Chenoweth is there. Chenoweth has caught the 71 of Dan McCaddy trying to march his way forward. The handle on that 71 car has gone away. He drives it deep trying to hang with Connor James, who runs in the 4th spot. But the one in Recreational Racing 89 machine trying to do what he can. The Quick Fire Starters machine gets into the back of the J.J. Stewart Motor 71 machine of Dan McCaddy. That time off of 2 and down the back straightaway. They come past Tyler Junkin. Fitzpatrick still all over the rear bumper cover of flying Ryan Kimball. Everybody behind Kimball a little bit faster on the stopwatch. It's one thing to be faster, it's another to make the pass. These guys trying to do it clean. Fitzpatrick now looking to the inside, trying to free up the 29 of Kimball just a little. Kimball now able to get away down the back straightaway. Great run off at 2. Kimball better through 1 and 2. Fitzpatrick better through 3 and 4. Back to the stripe this time by lap 120 in the book. 47 laps remaining.
Chenoweth gives another tap to Dan McCaddy in 2. That's twice he's done that.
Chenoweth knows it's go time. These guys getting racy at the front of the field. Fitzpatrick off of 4, slides the nose to the inside, but there you see it again. Kimball so much better off of turn 2 than Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick going to make it all back through 3 and 4 as they come back to the stripe. A good run that time off of 4 for Kimball. Able to keep that advantage over J.R. Fitzpatrick. A little bit faster that time by was Kimball. Fitzpatrick now under pressure from the 54 of Danny Benedict. Benedict looking for room to work. Had to go to the back with that shifter linkage issue early on. Already has 1 crown jewel with a Velocity 250 win up at Sunset Speedway. They're going to look to the inside of the lap car, Kyle Woods. Connor James tried to make the move as well to the inside of Benedict. Woods has been the wild card of a lap car through this race. Sometimes gets up in the leader's way, not able to keep that car down on the bottom.
Chenoweth looking to the inside of McCaddy and into 3. Thinks better of it, but he's right there. Oh, he taps McCaddy, do the bumper run. He definitely gets by him.
Chenoweth saying it's go time. McCaddy losing touch with the top 4, and that's costing Chenoweth time, and around
they're spinning around
the 52 as everybody gets woed up. James Townsend went around. Bobby Kuzno might have been involved in that 42 machine. They were battling for position.
And that means that Chenoweth will not be able to succeed with that pass because they'll have to go back to the last lap.
So it depends on where scoring was, if they were able to take that lap or not. We'll have to see what the officials rule. But at the very least, when the restart falls, it'll be Chenoweth to the outside of McCaddy. Down in the restart zone, they get on the gas coming into turn number 3. Green flag back in the air. Kimball and Fitzpatrick side by side. Down in turns 1 and 2. Benedict is there trying to stay to the rear bumper, the 29 of Kimball. Fitzpatrick going to have to fight for it up on the high side. There's no room now. If he wants to slide in line, it's going to be behind Danny Benedict. Benedict had to check up that time off of 4. That allowed Fitzpatrick to get down. He avoided contact with the 41 machine and got on the binders off of 4 and down the front straightaway. Top 5 now nose to tail. Chenoweth trying to work his way forward. McCaddy up out of the racing group. Grant Graham goes by. Graham now running in the 6th spot with that limited late model, doing a heck of a job here tonight. Here comes Connor James, the SSG Gloves number 4 machine, to the inside of Danny Benedict. He's going to march his way forward now. He wants a shot at this one. Connor James looking for his first crown jewel. The 2021 APC United Late Model Series Rookie of the Year winner. Wants to join the front 2 up to the 3rd spot, trying to close in his teammate J.R. Fitzpatrick. At the front of the field, though, it's still Ryan Kimball. Fitzpatrick a little bit quicker again. Kimball with the advantage through 1 and 2. Fitzpatrick the advantage at the other end of the racetrack coming through 3 and 4. Benedict and James trying to get back. Benedict now puts the bumper to Connor James that time off of 4, trying to get back to the 3rd spot again, trying to move James up the hill. Benedict feels he's got the faster race car. Here he comes. The Hoy's Garage Andy's Quilt Service number 54 machine. The Mobile One Ride takes over the 3rd spot. He'll set his sights to reel back in the top 2. Kimball now starting to pull away from the 41 of J.R. Fitzpatrick. Getting in the late going of this one now. 132 laps down of the 167 lap distance.
Pretty impressive run by Ryan Kimball as he keeps the lead up there. His tires show no signs of going away, despite J.R. Fitzpatrick trying everything to stay with him. Danny Benedict really comfortable there in 3rd.
Kimball faster, but it's not by much. Just enough to start to get some breathing room. Danny Benedict has turned it up. He's gotten back to the rear bumper of J.R. Fitzpatrick as they race down the back straightaway. Trying to close in on the 41 machine to set up a pass. They'll come up with the 41 and Tyler Junkin. He'll get to the bottom side of the racetrack and let the leaders go by. Fitzpatrick up on the high side. Tries to pinch down as tight as he can on Junkin as he comes off of turn number 2. Benedict trying to march forward, trying to get back to the rear bumper of the 41 machine. Lost a little distance that time, working through the lap traffic. Kimball, the fastest car on the racetrack as we run. Fitzpatrick trying to close the gap. Right now, Kimball doing what he has to do, managing his tires, managing the gap. Fitzpatrick faster that last lap by, trying to get going once again. Connor James now with the rear bumper of Benedict, trying to repay the favor. He's going to get that receipt and take the position away. Slides to the inside of the racetrack. Benedict up high. Benedict going to slide back in line and let the SSG gloves, number 4 machine of Connor James, go by him. Up to the 3rd spot. Connor James thought he had a car to compete with the front 2. Benedict got back by him, so Connor James getting back in that groove. We'll see what he's got this time by on the scoring loop. 14.498. Faster than both your leader and second place car is Connor James. We'll see if he can run him down and make something happen. Getting into the closing laps here of the Electric City 167 of the Autumn Colors Classic. Lap traffic going to play a factor. The leader's starting to close in on the back half of the field again. Woods in the 06, Mercer in the 81, and Townsend in the 52. They'll get the move over flag. Woods going to move to the bottom side of the racetrack. Connor James still the fastest car on the racing surface as he closes in on J.R. Fitzpatrick. Kimball quicker than Fitzpatrick as they work past the lap traffic, the 06 machine. Fitzpatrick able to close the gap. Connor James able to do the same. Top 3 now. Going to try to be nose to tail. Top 2 are nose to tail. Connor James loses contact with the front 2 just a little as they race into turn number 3. Fitzpatrick has turned it up once again. Maybe let those tires cool down. Trying to close back in on the 29 of Flying Ryan Kimball at the front of the field and make something happen here late in the going. The move over flag being issued to Townsend and Mercer as your leaders close in. That time by, it was Kimball, the fastest car on the track. Fitzpatrick and James not able to make anything happen. Fitzpatrick now trying to close right in on the rear bumper of the 29 of Kimball as they come up on the lap traffic. It was lap traffic that hindered Fitzpatrick's advances in the modified race earlier this afternoon. He's not going to let that happen.
Oh, 3 wide.
Townsend and Mercer, they're going to come up. Mercer down the racetrack into your leader, Kimball. Mercer trying to work through lap traffic. Got into the right side of the leader of Kimball as he came by. Kimball able to keep it going though. Looks like no cut tires in the 29 machine. He'll work to the outside of Townsend now. Fitzpatrick going to follow him through on the high side of the racetrack. Connor James is there. Townsend down through the grass over the curb. Back up, able to avoid Connor James. Top 3 get clear of lap traffic. 19 laps remain in this one as they come across the stripe. Kimball just a little bit slower than Fitzpatrick that time by. Connor James 2/10 off the leaders. Fitzpatrick is there. He's pushing. He's knocking on the rear door. Might be a little more than that. Might be a shove. Up the racetrack goes Kimball. Contact. Down over the curb goes Fitzpatrick. There, drag race down the back straightaway. Kimball trying to slam the door shut. Fitzpatrick up in him. Side by side down the front straightaway. Here comes the 4 of Connor James. Trying to keep Kimball up on the high side of the racetrack. The elbow from Connor James. He's going to skate through now down on the bottom. Here comes Kimball looking for the receipt. Not going to get it down into turn number 3. Connor James drives it deep, trying to get away from the 29. Might have opened the door down on the bottom side of the racetrack. Flying Ryan Kimball trying to march back forward now. The SSG Gloves 4 machine up the racetrack. Here comes Kimball. Fitzpatrick looks like he was a little bit slow getting into turn number 3 that time. Kimball not happy. Going to go back at it here. Trying to reel back in J.R. Fitzpatrick. Now that Kimball's gotten clear, Connor James, we'll see what the lap times look like. We see the gap on the racetrack. Kimball trying to close it back up. Over a half second the last time by. This time at the stripe. Under just over half a second, barely over half a second. Kimball the faster of the 2, a 10th quicker the last time by. We'll see if he can keep it up. See if maybe Fitzpatrick went a little too soon. As we work our way towards the 10 to go mark. Again, Kimball 2/10 quicker that last lap by. Unable to close the gap though. Trying to get back. He's going to repay the favor if he can get there. I'm sure of it. He's not going to waste any time. Putting the bumper to Fitzpatrick, the Humvee Parts.ca 41 machine. And here comes Flying Ryan Kimball as they close in on lap traffic. Kimball up on the high side of the racetrack, trying to slide back in line low. Kyle Woods, the outsider, Tyler Junkin, they're side by side in front of your leaders. Woods up the racetrack, Junkin trying to get low, top three, nose to tail through lap traffic. Down the back straight away we go, Junkin stays the low side. Fitzpatrick out in front, Kimball is there. Connor James now a car length behind the 29 of Kimball. Kimball tried to take the run at the rear bumper of the 41 machine, down into one, but he loses some ground. Kimball gonna have to show some patience here. It'll be 9 laps to go at the line. The warning flag coming out for the 29 machine. The officials seen that one, down into turn number 1. Kimball with the run to the inside, down the back straightaway. Fitzpatrick slams the door shut. Contact. Fitzpatrick able to hold on to it. Down the back straightaway we go. Down the front straightaway, sorry. The 41 machine of Fitzpatrick trying to hold on to it. Flying Ryan Kimball trying to get the receipt, trying to get back to the top spot. Laps winding down here. Fitzpatrick sideways. There goes Connor James in the back of Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick's not done, trying to get back to Flying Ryan Kimball. This is going to be an interesting victory lane no matter what way you slice it at this point. Kimball out in front trying to pull away. The warning flag out for the top 3 at this point in time. They're going to come to 5 to go at the line this time by. Ryan Kimball starting to pull away. 0.3 of a second advantage over the 41 of Fitzpatrick. Connor James into his teammate at JR Fitzpatrick. Connor James trying to get to the second spot. Fitzpatrick might have used it up out in front. Danny Benedict now trying to join the battle for second. All this going on behind Ryan Kimball. Fitzpatrick again sideways. Connor James to the inside. Benedict going to try to slide it in there. Here comes the 54 machine. Fitzpatrick up the hill. Benedict to third. Connor James to second. Laps winding down. See where they're at the straight this time by. Connor James trying to close the gap. Late in the going, over a second advantage for Flying Ryan Kimball as they work lap traffic. They'll come to popsicle sticks at the line this time by. 2 laps to go for Flying Ryan Kimball, looking for his second Autumn Colors Classic crown. He's been close in the Pro Late models before. He's had it taken away late in the going. He'd love to do it here on the Electric City 167. Down the back straightaway, Connor James closed in 0.3 of a second that last lap. He might be there by the time this one's over. We've got the car spinning to the infield. White flag is out. We might let this one go to finish out. Final time down the back straightaway. Connor James, half car length back for the 29 of Kimball. He drives it deep into 3 and 4, trying to get there. Checkered flag in the air. Kimball with the win. Connor James for second. Benedict going to come home third. Chenoweth fourth. And Fitzpatrick will round out the top 5. That one took a while to get going, but the back half of it was worth it. Let me tell you, what a race these Pro Late Model drivers put on. I'm not sure. Benedict pulled up alongside Ryan Kimball, those two good friends, giving the congratulations. Unbelievable, the back half of that race.
Holy smokes. I mean, you want to write drama for a race. That was drama beyond belief. Ryan, I know you've had ups and downs through lots of seasons. You definitely had some heartbreaks getting seconds, thirds, fourths, right down to the bottom when you had a top car. All night tonight, you knew you had to have some patience, at the same time push the loud pedal when you needed to. Walk us through the first half of the race, and then we'll talk about the second part.
The first half, we weren't really that good, but we had a good long-run car, so we made a couple small adjustments. Didn't want to put as much fuel in the car as we wanted. I thought it was better in the long run. Guys just, what can I say, man? These guys just give me this is easy to drive when it's such a good car. What can I say about JR, man? I just couldn't finish that second to that guy again, man. But I just can't say enough about guys at MG Motorsports. We were come here. This is our 20th year. We've had constant seconds and thirds like that and really good pieces. So I just can't say enough. J-Bex really came on board this weekend. Crow's gas and stuff, and what can I say about SMG? Man, Sean Grossman just gives me everything and gives these guys everything we need. So I can't say enough.
Yeah, no doubt, man. And in the second half, obviously it got down to the bottom 20, lots of cautions, and then finally you had to go, and you knew there's some top cars there coming, and it was a lot of bump and run for some of the guys in the back, but then it got to the front bump and run, and it was wild.
Yeah, no, that last 15 was wild. I thought I was actually going to be able to drive away a little bit. But Nate just kept saying half, and I was like, holy crap. But, and JR got into me there, but JR is so talented, right? He didn't loosen me up. He got the line, and I just sort of did it back to him and whatnot. But I mean, that's just good racing.
Give it up for your Autumn Colors Late Model Pro Lite Electric City Champion, Ryan Kimball. Okay, where is he? There he is. Connor. Holy smokes, man. Needless to say, you don't even had a front row seat, but you were in that seat. I mean, walk us through the first half of the race before the competition yellow, how you were handling and what your plan was.
I mean, my spotter, Rick Walt, told me we're a tractor out in the farm field here, just chopping grass, taking our time. So we just rode and rode till the halfway break and tried to save a little bit more after the fuel stop. And kind of once we got to about 40, 50 to go, we knew it was go time. We wanted to get to an inside restart spot if we needed it, but we had a hell of a view for that battle up front with JR and Ryan there. So it's a lot of fun. Happy to come out P2 out of this.
Second place for Connor James. Danny. Up front here, we'll get a little closer so the speakers can work. You know, like I said, you had front row seat to all this, but at the same time, you were gunning for the run to win this thing, and you knew you had a good piece for the first half of the race before the competition yellow. What were your thoughts going into the second thing? Okay, what do I do?
It's all about track position and strategy here, right? You want bottom on the restart, so you got to pick your spot. And every caution we were talking about, well, do we go now or do we just ride here? Or what do we do? And it's always a guessing game, right? And unfortunately, this one was full of cautions. But you know, we survived. We made some good moves, made some smart moves, made some dumb moves. But I mean, that happens. Just happy to be in one piece and really happy to be on the podium with my GTA Racing Designs teammate, Ryan. Big congrats to those guys. Those guys really earned it. They've had a tough year and they work really hard, so I'm glad to see them up front.
Give it up for Danny Benedict, your third place finisher at the Autumn Colors Classic Electric 60 167. "67 laps. Ladies and gentlemen, start your engines, let's go!
So we just see the 67 car lead them around in honor of Melissa Bullen. I see people waving them on, ladies and gentlemen. The mini stocks to close out this show, and they are going to put on a show for you here. The mini stocks have always put on a show at the Autumn Colors Classic, one of the best divisions across the province of Ontario, and they're going to go 67 laps the distance with a competition caution between lap 30 and lap 40 to ensure they got enough fuel to go the extended distance. So this will be interesting to see how this all shakes out. One round of qualifying, set the field. Gonna let these drivers get some heat in their tires and also move around. Let the air flow through and try to defog some of these windows. I've seen them kind of fogged up as they were sitting on the front straightaway for introductions. So let them get the air flowing through and get the windows to dethaw just a little bit. So the pace cars duck off to pit road. Final feature to close out the 28th Annual Autumn Colors Classic. Mini stocks set to fire off at turn number 4. Green flag in the air. We got him 3 wide, deeper in the pack. Brock Baker with contact to Victor Vowles, trying to find a way by Tim McKnight. Everyone able to keep it going straight. We got Wade Thorne down in the grass for Agricultural Racing off at turn number 4. That Dodge and Young gets back on the racing surface. Everyone pointing the right direction. We complete lap number 1. 66 laps now remain. Everybody trying to get sorted out here. Find a line and get racing. Charlie Smith up on the high side, our fast qualifier. Working to the outside, Ryan Edward kissing the 20 machine.
Oh, trouble down coming out of turn number 2. Laval down in the grass. Got it back up on the track, but just was way loose coming out of 2.
Laval trying to get back in line and get his rhythm going once again. Carl Salt, the former Flamborough Speedway track champion, out in front. Eric York on the move. Now to the inside of Brian Penny. Looking to go to the 4th spot. York had his troubles last weekend across Oktoberfest at Flamborough Speedway. Ended up getting into an incident in practice with a slower car that had spun and came down the racetrack. Already in lap traffic. McKnight going a lap down. Carol Dawson going a lap down. Down to the bottom side of the racetrack as we circle lap number 5. Brock Baker pit side. He had made contact on lap number 1 with Victor Vowles and Tim McKnight. Damage might be too much. Might have been something on the right front of that 63 machine. Brock Baker headed down pit road to the attention of the crew. Brad Laval trying to hold off Eric York, squeeze him up to the wall that time down the back straightaway. York with a shot to Laval. Laval trying to hold on to the spot. York now going to go to the outside down through turns 1 and 2. See what happens. They had the issue down the back straightaway this time. York has the run on the high side of the racetrack. That car powers out and now goes on the hunt. Although York way up the racetrack, almost in the 3rd lane. Not where you want to be through turns 3 and 4, but able to hold on to the position. Everyone trying to work their way through, trying to make positions. Josh Bullen on the move now, looking to the outside of Brian Penny as they work to the outside of Michael Kenny and put him a lap down. Jason White runs in the 4th spot. Josh Bullen will look to the outside of him as they work into turn number 3. Bullen now able to clear Brian Penny. Penny under pressure from Ryan Edward Kiss. They work past the lap car, RJ Crow 2. The 08 car is off the base down the back straightaway. Hit it the inside. Whoa! Big hit! Big hit! Brian Penny hard to the outside retaining wall. He tried to make the move to the inside of Tim McKnight. Those 2 cars got hooked together and up the racetrack they went. Brian Penny dove to the inside, made it 3 wide. Josh Bullen got a piece of that as they came up the racetrack. Unbelievable. Brian Penny out of the car waving. I guess he's all right. I don't know what he'd be waving about, but the 06 of McKnight was doing what he had to do as a lap car down on the bottom side of the racetrack. Josh Bullen had gone to the outside of Brian Penny prior to that, getting into the corner and had cleared the 45 of Penny. Penny dove to the inside of McKnight, and as McKnight tried to stay to the bottom side of the racetrack, those 2 got hooked together and came back across the racetrack. Ryan Edward Kiss involved as well. Don't know how much of that he got.
Peterborough Speedway pace truck down to the infield.
Green flag set to fire once again. Back racing with the mini stocks, the Multiple Memorial 67 to close out the Autumn Colors Classic. York on the high side, looking to take over the top spot. Carl Salt down on the bottom. Charlie Smith on the move now.
Brock Baker down in the grass.
Baker able to get back up on the racing surface and continue on. Carl Salt out to the lead, trying to hold off Eric York. Pair of fast cars at the front of the field. Charlie Smith now to the inside of Jason White, looking to take over the 4th spot. White sliding back in that Honda Civic. He's got Chandler Boss there as well to the inside now. White trying to hold on to his spot inside the top 5. Chandler Boss looking to the inside of that Chevrolet Cobalt. Not able to make it happen. Here comes Eric York down the back straightaway to the inside of Carl Salt for the top spot. York to the inside of the 81 machine. As they battle down the front straightaway, York going to lead that lap back to the line. Laval looking to keep Salt up on the high side and take over the second spot. Charlie Smith on the move now. In that number 15 machine, the Ideal Supply Napa Auto Parts Dodge Neon, as they work past the line. York, the fastest car on the racetrack, by almost a half second over Carl Salt in second. So York absolutely motoring out in front. Salt now side by side with Laval. So Salt not getting some good laps on the racetrack right now, as he's side by side, still trapped on the high side of the racetrack with Laval. Laval going to try to slide ahead. Michael Kenny back to pit road. They put Carol Ducky another lap down in that 38 machine. Charlie Smith trying to close in on the battle for second. Laval comes away with the position. Carl Salt still up on the high side. They'll go around Dan Demirs, the 67 machine, going to go a lap down now to your second place car. York about 5 car lengths ahead of second place Brad Laval at this point. Carl Salt falling back a little bit from Brad Laval as they run. Charlie Smith trying to close in on third place Carl Salt. Fifth at the line is Jason White holding off Chandler Boss in the 6th spot. Josh Bullen trying to charge through the field after getting some damage involved in that incident. Going to the outside of Rob Harrison as they work past Carol Dawson. Bullen trying to march through the field, had a starting position inside the top 10. Had to give up that ground coming down to make repairs to the rear end of that 67 machine. York starting to distance himself now. Salt trying to close back in on Brad Laval for second. Laval, the Peterborough Speedway regular in that number 6 machine, trying to hold on to the second place spot. Ryan Edward Kiss back on the track with that 20 car slows. He's going to pull to pit road. A valiant effort by the Radar Auto Parts team to try to get the 20 car back out. But unfortunately, too much damage done being involved in that incident. Working away here as we work through heavy lap traffic for your leader, Eric York. Puts Carol Dawson another lap down. Salt now looking to the outside of Brad Laval as they come up on the lap car of the 38 at Dawson. Get back single file as they work to the outside of that Acura Integra. Federley, another driver, started in the rear of the field, trying to work his way forward to the inside of the 89 machine of Dave Butcher.
Should be okay.
Racing all over the racetrack there. York up on the high side of the racetrack. Distancing himself from Brad Laval in second. Laval able to hold on to second every time Salt makes a charge in that 81 machine. Lap traffic slows his progress and has to fall back in line. Like a conveyor belt of cars around the racetrack at this point. Wade Zorn in that 67 machine, he gets sideways. Able to keep it going straight after contact with Fox in the 78. The backers.ca Ford Fusion able to keep it going in the right direction. He's now got the hooligan Rob Harrison his house side. Going to lose another spot as they come up on the lap car, Carol Dawson. Salt now looking to the inside of Laval as they come up on the 70 and Mike Nelson to put him a lap down. Salt trying to make the move in the number 6 machine as they race down the back straightaway. Salt the 81. Salt now clear Laval. York working heavy lap traffic. Troubles for Federley in the 49 machine. He'll hit pit road. Carol Dawson checks up as the 49 hits pit road. Everyone able to get around her as they enter turn number 3. Salt closing the gap in lap traffic, but he's going to run up on Dave Watchorn and Peter Wakeling. Fox in the 78 machine as well. Justin Fox in that Ford Fusion. Salt now able to get clear of him. Laval working to the outside of lap traffic as well. Charlie Smith runs in the 4th spot. Josh Bullen up to the 5th spot after going to the tail of the field. Bullen marching his way forward, but he's got a long way to catch Charlie Smith if he wants to continue working his way forward into the top 5, further into the top 5. Butcher in the 89 machine working to the inside of lap traffic. That's not going to work. That's going to hold him up a little. Fox doing the right thing down the bottom side of the racetrack, waking up on the high side. This is holding up Charlie Smith and allowing him to fall back to the clutches of Josh Bullen. Bullen going to the high side of the racetrack. Your leaders working heavy lap traffic. Carl Salt gets clipped. Salt able to keep going straight. Julian Harrison got into the 97 of Watchorn and sent him up the racetrack into Carl Salt. Again, Harrison working the high side of the racetrack as they come up on the slower car, Carol Dawson. 3 wide down the front straightaway. Your second place runner, that's going to cost him a pile of time to Eric York. If he had a shot at this one, now he's going to need a caution.
Well, they do have the competition caution coming up.
They do. There will be a fuel caution here between lap 30 and 40. Some of these drivers weren't sure their cars were going to be able to go the distance. Watchorn going to hit pit road. Trouble for the 97 machine. We got trouble. Laval, your third place car, gets tangled up with the lap car, Rob Harrison. The hooligan Rob Harrison takes out third place runner Brad Laval. Laval, the Kawartha outdoor decor number 6 machine. And hooligan going to get the black flag in the number 1 machine. We've seen this in the late models. When the lap cars tangle with the lead lap cars, they will receive the black flag. And it looks like Laval might be going off on the hook. He's already out of the car, I believe, over there in turn number 2. Competition caution here with the Melissa Bull Memorial 67 lap race at the Autumn Colors Classic. So it'll be much like the Pro Late models. Drivers are going to be asked to stay to the outside wall when they pull down pit road. And teams will be allowed to put fuel in. And I think that's going to be it. It's going to be a gas and go. You're not here for major overhauls. You're not here to make repairs. And here we go, set to fire once again. Green flag in the air off of turn number 4. York and Salt lead them back the line off of turn number 4. Charlie Smith, Josh Bullen make up row number 2. Salty will slide in line down ahead of Charlie Smith. Drag race down the back straightaway. Smith able to match horsepower, the 67 of Bullen. Quick, looking for room to work. The 67 of Bullen goes around. He gets tagged. Caution is out.
67 saw that coming. Peyton, does this thing get the print then for Peyton?
So Charlie Smith moves up to 3rd. Rob Crick and Bullen go into the rear as involved cars.
67X and 84.
The late models, but I need to pay you. Okay, thanks.
No problem. And set to go green once again off of turn number 4. 37 laps now complete of the 67 lap event. 30 laps to go here. It's now a Saturday night shootout for the mini stocks, what they normally would race. At different tracks across the province, 30 laps remain. Charlie Smith in 3rd, Carl Salt 2nd, Chandler Botts runs in 4th. Showell for McKibben in the 33 machine. Sideways through the grass, able to get back on the racing surface and go in the right direction. Jason White, little agricultural racing, looks like he slows down the back straightaway. He's going to hit pit road. The 55 of Jason White going to pull that Honda Civic down pit road. Tough break for him. Wade Thorne in the 6017 machine up to the 5th spot in line. Bullen trying to march his way forward again in the 67X. After being involved in that last caution with the 84, Rob Crick. Pair of 67s run nose to tail just outside the top 5. So one inside the top 5, one out of it. Now Bullen to the inside of Thorne. They work past Tiffany Vanderbilt, the lap car. Vanderbilt, the 88 machine. One lap down to the field, as far as I can tell, looking at race scoring. Bullen trying to march forward once again, now up in the 5th spot. Jason White has rejoined the field. Peter Wakeling now going to hit pit road. His Ford Mustang headed down pit road. Everybody chasing Eric York out in front. That 51 machine on an absolute rail at the front of the field. Salt in the second spot, unable to close the gap. Salt was faster, but York out in front, doesn't have to push the car, can take his time, can pick up the pace when he needs to. Trying to conserve what he has of those tires, make sure that car's going to get all the way to the end. They spent all week working on that 51 machine of Eric York, had the car at the frame shop, had the motor out of it, trying to get it pulled back straight. They thrashed all week to get here to the Autumn Colors Classic, looking for his second crown here at Peterborough Speedway to close out the 20th Annual Autumn Colors Classic. So Bullen now gets around Chandler Boss. That's for the 4th spot. He'll set his sights on Charlie Smith, who's a distance ahead, running in the 3rd position. We close in on the lap 50 mark. 48 laps now complete. It'll be 49 at the line. Next time by for Eric York. Bullen about half a second quicker a lap than Charlie Smith, trying to close in on that Dodge Neon in the 3rd spot. Bullen trying to get there, trying to close the gap to Charlie Smith. Smith's going to work to the outside of Carol Dawson, the 38. That'll allow Bullen to close. Bullen depends on where he catches the lap car here. He might stay at the high side of the racetrack, down the back straightaway. York in lap traffic, putting Victor Valls, Dan Demaris each a lap down. Dave Butcher just ahead of him now in the 89 machine. Vanderbilt, Mike Nelson, McKibben, all lap cars racing ahead, lead lap cars of Rob Crick and Wade Thorne. Those two drivers
about to go down a lap as the leaders are coming.
Just ahead of Eric York. Crick gets into Thorne, but they are all racing for position just ahead of Eric York. York looking to lap up to the 7th spot now. Crick a lap down. There'd be 6 spots. Only the top 5 will remain on the lead lap. Thorne sideways in the 67, trying to get to the bottom of the racetrack. York again will look to the inside. Thorne almost slams the door shut. He does so down in turn number 1. York having a hard time with the lap traffic. Down the back straightaway they go. Thorne now up to the high side of the racetrack. Carl Salt is closed in the 81 machine. Trying to close the gap. Thorne now down tight on the door of Salt as they go down the front straightaway. Thorne will fall back in line and now mount a challenge of Salt down the back straightaway. Salt looking to the outside of Vanderbilt and Dawson. Thorne looking to follow through on the high side as he battles with Rob Crick for position. Those two cars just went 1 lap down. Josh Bullen closing in on Charlie Smith. To the inside goes Bullen now into turn number 3.
Fistful of laps left. Well, 2 fists.
10 laps to go with the line. Last time, bottom be 9 this time for Eric York, looking for his second Autumn Colors Classic crown. Salt in the 2nd spot. Safe from behind, almost a straightaway advantage, and several lap cars over the 67 of Bullen. Bullen now clear of Charlie Smith. Charlie falling back now from Bullen. Bullen in the 3rd spot. Almost a half track behind. 2nd place Carl Salt. York closing in on him to be on the same straightaway soon as Bullen. Eric York putting on a clinic. Chandler Boss still on the lead lap, runs in the fifth spot. So only the top 5 remain on the lead lap as we run. They will come to 5 to go next time by. 62 laps complete, 5 laps remain for Eric York at the front of the field. York with an absolute clinic in that 51 machine. The long nights in the shop this week, getting the car back together, gonna be worth it when he parks it in dark heating and air conditioning victory lane when this one's all said and done. Just a few laps remain now.
Eric York with a full 2-minute lead, or 2-second lead, 2.5-second lead on Carl Salt.
And now he will lap Chandler Boss and put the 5th place car 1 lap down. Only the top 4 remain on the lead lap. Charlie Smith safest straight away ahead, pops to 6 at the line. For Eric York. There we go.
White flag. Last lap coming down to the line. Last 2 corners for Eric York, Carl Salt, Josh Bullen, Charlie Smith, and Chandler Boss, your top 5 finishers. Only the top 4 are on the lead lap.
Pretty impressive run by York, Salt, and Bullen, that's for sure. Along with Charlie Smith and Chandler Boss, but holy cow.
A long week at the shop. They had to put the whole front end back together, the motor out, got the frame shop, getting the clip pulled straight. It's all worth it. Coming up out of the car, your feature winner makes some noise for Eric York. Man, I'll get you to come on up here. This is about the reception range I got, so you got to work with me here. Eric, my man, it was a long week for you guys putting this car back together, but a lot of work. I talked to you on the tech line, and you were still finding things wrong with the car on Friday afternoon once you got here to the racetrack. Talk us through all you had to do to get this car repaired just to get to the Autumn Colors Classic.
Yeah, we had the engine out Sunday or Saturday night after Frost Fest. I went to the frame shop Sunday, thrashed on it all week, put new bars in, just straightening the body, putting the engine back in. Didn't get it running until Wednesday. Pack up and come here for Thursday or Friday morning, and couldn't be happier. Things still are rocket, even though it's a little bent.
Lap traffic, man, a lot of lap traffic. You had lapped up to 4th place, so only the top 4 cars were on the lead lap. Did you know that you had that big of a lead over everyone else, or you were just trying to focus on hitting your marks and move forward?
Yeah, I had no clue. I could just see cars in my rearview mirror, so just stay on the gas and hit my marks and roll the corner and just don't make any mistakes. It was mine to lose.
Long week like this. Thank everyone to help make it possible to pick up your 2nd Autumn Classic win.
I got to thank Peterborough Speedway for putting this event on. JP, everybody, this is awesome. 3rd time here, and it's a blast every time I come. Got to thank my crew, Mike at Part-Timer Signs, the wife, everybody who helps out, even the other racers, and the morale in the tech lane and everything is just, it's awesome.
There we go, ladies and gentlemen, make some noise. Your feature winner, Eric York. All right, we'll jump in your driver, Carl Salt. Carl, you led early, but it wasn't easy, man. A few tangles with live traffic there trying to get back to York. Did you think you had anything for him, or are you just trying to hold on to what you had?
At one point, I thought I had something for him. I started catching him, but that went away, and he took off on me, and it's like, well, I guess I get 2nd.
You were sideways at one point through 1 and 2. Do you think maybe your day was going to come to an end early after contact with the lap car?
I put it sideways a bunch of times myself, so I know if I just kept it floor, it'd come back out.
A lot of people make it possible. A good season for you, closing out the Autumn Colors Classic here. 2nd place finish. Thank everyone that made it possible.
I thank my friends, my girlfriend, the sponsors that stuck with me. I got Safety First Rescue Unit. I got A&A. Got parts from them. and just everyone out that comes and helps and hangs out the shop.
There we go. Second place finisher Carl Salt. We'll jump over here for the place Josh Bullen. You had an eventful race. Let's walk through the big one in the first place. What did you see of that? Or did you see anything and just know you got tagged?
All I saw was coming out of 2. I went on the outside of the lap car, and then all of a sudden I felt it in the left rear. Spun around. All I see is Penny up in the air. I'm like, oh, we're done. We're done. And then getting sent back twice, coming back through the field with like 15 to go. For the first time here, I can't get over. I can't thank my dad enough, my family. Oh, everything this year was for my sister, and this year we went out real good.
You guys struggled with the car Friday afternoon practice. It was 2 laps back to the pit area, adjustment back out, trying to make as many adjustments as you could. What were you guys fighting with this 67 machine?
We got wrecked at Sunset. We brought it to Merv Walt. He straightened it out. We got sway bar all messed up, but we worked hard. Dad, he went on into the book and threw everything we get in it, and I can't thank him enough for what we got tonight.
Well, there we go. We'll let you celebrate. Third place finisher Josh Bullen.
From myself, from Doug, and from Brandon, and from JP and Dave and all the staff, thank you for coming out, and we will see you next year.
This copyrighted broadcast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent of GForceTV. GForceTV would like to thank you for your support and for watching today's broadcast.